off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the Berg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the Berg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, hey now, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is episode 944 of the Two Dum Yinzers. I want to say to everybody, welcome back to the show. So glad to see everybody today. It's this Friday, April 10. Guys, we're just 13 days away from the NFL draft. Next week, we're going to be down to the double digits, which is pretty unreal. Michael, how you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful, sir. Fat Jesus is here. I'm ready to lift the curse of Marc-Andre Fleury on all the Pittsburgh sports teams. Some of them are working already, brother.
I'm just staring at your face. I can't wait for your beard to grow back. I gotta be honest.
Me too. Like the one guy at work, every time he sees me, he's like, "Look at this." He's like, "Oh man, look at this guy." He's like, "Talk about sexy. Look at this fucker." I'm like, "Shut up."
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Yeah. Let's say what's up to everybody on the board. Glad to see you today, this afternoon, this morning, wherever you may be. And just to address the elephant in the room, yesterday, I happened to run off to a ayahuasca resort, and Mike ran off to get married yesterday. So again, if you were wondering, if you were happened to be wondering what was going on, that's what happened. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me get on the board. I want to say what's up to Dude. Dude in the house.
Dude.
What's up, man? He says, afternoon, fellas. Always great seeing Dude on the terrible board. My man, hope things are going well, sir. Heading into this weekend. I also want to say what's up to Corey over at Don't Drink That. He says, hello, Pharaohs. Hello to you, too. John says, hey now. That's right, baby. Welcome to Big John Stud. Middle name Mud in the house. Always great seeing him on the board. Welcome, sir. What's up? It's Tortilla Jackson, all the way from Sacramento, California. My man, always great to see Tortilla. Like, so far, the MVP this year. It's early. It's still early. It's still early.
But putting up unprecedented numbers on the board.
Absolutely. He looks like, who was the running back we wanted from Seattle, the MVP?
Yeah. Kenneth Walker.
He looked like Kenneth Walker in a Super Bowl.
Yeah. That especially with the he eats with his ass open.
Absolutely, yes.
Or asshole open. That is top tier.
That is the Santonio Holmes catch in the back of the end zone of our terrible board.
Yes, because no one saw that one coming.
No. Mm-mm.
When it happened, like the fireworks.
Mark Kabola eats with his ass open. That is still my favorite, one of my favorite statements ever in the history of ever. Screw the Gettysburg Address. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. Good morning. Also, I do want to say Corey also has this to say. He says, how about Kenny Moore seeking a trade? Let's go get him. I did see that. We'll talk about that here in just a couple minutes. Also, I do want to say what's up to the original OG Yinzer Joe. He says this. He says, what's up, Yinzers? Ryan, you inspire me in my new screen name. I did notice that the other day. It was just up as the OG or OG. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. That has to be from the show. I love it, man. You look great on the terrible board as always. Yinzer Joe, I love the name change, and you are an OG, man. So it rings true. Always great to see you, bro. Let's go right here to Mason Gaming Vlogs. He says, hi, I do want to say what's up to Mason. Always great to see new faces on the terrible board. Welcome to the show. Whoa. Tortilla Jackson said this. I told that joke to my mom and she didn't see the vision, or maybe she did and it grossed her out. You know what? I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Because everything I find funny, I can't tell anybody else because they don't find it funny. They think it's disturbing, demented, deranged, any of those things. And I often find myself having to explain the joke. Like as Tortilla is saying, his mom probably thought, what the fuck are you talking about? Get away from me. What? And you know what? I also have that issue many times in my life, as a matter of fact. Maybe I just don't make sense when I talk. I don't know. Aaron Jade's in the house. What's up, my man? He says this. He says, here we go, Steelers with the Rockets. There it is, sending us into the weekend. I couldn't be more glad to see that message, guys, as we are heading into the weekend. Also, Mason getting excitable on the board. I don't know what's going on with him. New Mason, he's saying, change your name, exclamation marks, with mad faces. So I don't know what his deal is. But we'll be sure to make you happier in just a couple minutes. Stick around, Mason. RB says, I was told by my source, and RB, my man, of course, RB from right here from the show. Always great seeing RB. He says, I was told by my source, everyone is enjoying. Yes, absolutely. Let me finish the statement. I was told everyone is enjoying Mike McCarthy and are taken back by how much freedom he is giving his coordinators and position coaches down to input on drafting. He's sent position coaches. I'm hearing this too. I'm hearing very great news coming from the Pittsburgh inner circle. So a lot of good things to talk about today. He follows that up by saying coaches, there it is. Finishes up that he sent position coaches to the Pro days. I'm sorry. Said, I manage these guys. You have to coach them every day. Let's go to Corey. Corey says this, dude, I'm such a fucking idiot to my wife. I make the most dark perverted jokes and she looks at me and tells me I'm a child. Then I tell her it's weird. She likes little boys.
So she really is the weird one, Corey. I got you back on that one, brother.
Look, that kind of bleeds in the world we want to start today, Mike, because
God, it bleeds into little boys.
Well, almost. Well, just wait.
What the hell did we just do? Where did the show go off the rails already?
Pull yourself together, would you? Before we do get started and all the good stuff, and there is a lot of good stuff, guys, I do want to say welcome back to the show. This again is Friday, guys. Welcome back. It is episode 944. Full steam ahead, working toward the big 1,000. The 1,000 show coming up this July. Got a lot of things planned for you. Don't want to go anywhere. Jello Donut also back on the show. I do remember this name. Welcome back, Jello. He says Freaky Friday. He said Freak Out Friday for sure. He says move on from Rodgers. Let's play Will Howard. Football team doesn't revolve around a 40-year-old quarterback. Time to move on. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Don't Drink That says, how the F did I start a segue? That's my next level. Laugh my ass off. Mark Malone in the house. What's up, big dog? Always great seeing Mark Malone. The Mark Malone all the way from the Midwest. He says Penn State already. Welcome, everybody. So before we do get started, I do have a couple things I want to talk about. And there he is. There's my man right there, Ty, in the house. Always great to see the goat, Tyrone. What's up, brother? Always great seeing him. A couple things before we do get started, just because you know that we've been talking over the past couple of months. I talked to Sassy Cassie the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, 2 days ago, and they're starting their tour. Now, Sassy Cassie, if you don't know, she's the 2'11" stripper. She's the smallest stripper in the world. There's not a smaller stripper. This is the smallest stripper. She's a little bit larger than a fleshlight herself. And I talked to her, and I tried to get her on for a little bit before she went on tour. It wasn't possible. She was very busy, but she'll be in Western PA right around the time of the draft in that week, and she is going to come on. But she did give us a little bit to talk about leading up to her visit. She has a new product out. Hold on. Make sure all the women and children are sleeping. Women and children sleeping. All right, guys. Sassy Cassie, of course, the shortest stripper in the world at 2'11". Great friend of the show. She did work with us early on. We keep in touch with her pretty often. And again, she is on the road. You could check her out now. You could go to her Facebook page and check out the April schedule at Sassy Cassie, Sassee Cassee. Go check it out. They're coming to PA, Western PA, as a matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, Mike. They'll be down in Washington, then also up at Jurgles. So she'll be on that week. But until then, we have a little bit to talk about, Mike. Not only is she going to be on to talk about her touring, just what it is that she does, but she has a new product out. Yeah. We're not sponsored by this, or we're not nothing like that. I just felt that it was interesting to talk about. Well, Sassy Cassie, she has a new product out on the market. Mike, if you could put this up on the board so everybody can see. Have you ever wondered what it felt like? Well, now you can. Don't let my small stature fool you. Not everything in me is little. The Sassy Cassie pocket pussy. There you go, everybody. There's Cassie right on the box. Right on the box, you can see it. And it has a censored circle over the vagina, if you will, right there on the bottom, right by my box. And she'll be on in a couple weeks to talk about her new product. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk to her about her new product, Mike. I know that you already have one ordered.
That is the rumor going around. I will not confirm nor deny said rumor. Just don't look up my credit card statement.
Tortilla says, "Where's Cody?" He'd go wild over this, and I know he would, and we will get that back up. And I certainly, if I see Cody in the house today, I won't forget to tell him about it. I'm going crazy over this myself. Again, Sassy Cassie will be in just a couple weeks to talk to us while on tour. I cannot wait. I miss her. I miss the little thing. She's like a loaf of bread. Cassie, she is. So she'll be in a couple weeks. I'm excited about this. A whole lot of things. Oh, also one more thing. While the women and children are still in the other room. Here's one for you guys. And this, I just need you to settle this debate for me. I need the board. I need the board to help me today. Because I had a debate with a friend of mine. Well, okay, so you know how we go on and on, Mike, about some of the things that are popular in porn, and we complain like, okay, so the step porn is where I'm going to start. Step porn, everybody's complaining. We said, what the hell's the problem with step porn? They're not really related, blah blah blah. Well, the new thing, you can't go on Pornhub or any sites and not see ass eating. Where did the ass eating interest come from all of a sudden? And it's not just eating women's asses; it's women eating men's asses. Where did this infatuation come from all of a sudden?
I do not know.
But you know it's true.
It is true.
You can't. I mean, I go and I'm scrolling down, and I don't want to watch anything where a dude's getting his ass eaten. I just don't. And I just keep scrolling, and I keep scrolling, and it's the new thing. It's the new step. It's the new step porn. Ass eating.
Yeah, it's a cultural phenomenon, to say the least. Yeah, it's not something I enjoy to see on my screen, but hey, you know what? To each their own. That one I might kink shame you for. Yeah.
Well, do you remember back in in season 2? I think her name was Wendy. She came on this show, and that was one of her stories. A guy tried hitting on her on the internet. He got a hold of her, and she didn't know who he was even. And he's like, "Hey, can I eat your ass?" And that was his pickup line. And I thought, okay, that's weird. But here we are, 4 years later, Mike, and the eating of the ass has become very popular. Apparently, I don't get it. Listen, I can see a chick's ass because chicks' asses are relatively clean. But I can't even imagine what will possess a girl to get up in a dude's butt. I just can't. I just can't. I mean, we're disgusting. We shit constantly. Come on. I just don't. I don't get it. But there you go, everybody. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's get back on the board.
Yes, please, let's.
Let's grab a couple of these messages, and we're going to get into all kind of things today. Thank you for your attention, everybody. Thank you for your attention to this matter. But if you have any resolve for me, please do throw it up there. I just think it's weird. How many guys in here are on board for that? I don't know. Just seems weird to me. Let's go right here. Steeler Freak Johnny says, RB, good news. There will be more of an investment when the coach picks the player. No excuses. I'm sorry. Yinzer Joe says this. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to make all these great moves, but not have a knowledgeable quarterback. Sign Rodgers. Let's scoot up here a little bit Mo to Steeler Freak again. And John says Rodgers likes attention. Plus, he wants to show at the last possible minute because he doesn't need the extra training, of course, because he was so great last year. Tortilla says, where's Cody? He'll go wild. And you know what? When he comes in, let me know, because I'll certainly get that that Sassy Cassie toy over to him. I know he'll love it. RB says, John, I agree. It's also telling that he has a trust in all these guys to know what the team is looking for in a cultural sense, which I think culture is a huge thing that needs fixed. And that's what some people are saying. They're saying that it is. We'll get to that here shortly. Or at least it's in the right direction. Mark Malone says, LOL, man, I don't think I could do it. I don't know how Derpy does it.
Derpy.
Let's go here. RB, for the publicity, she should donate one for raffle for. I agree. And RB says he says that Derpy would buy
Derpy
100 entries. She should. Here's the thing. I think she would, but I don't think she actually physically handles them. I think that if she buys them, it would be, you know what I mean? She would have to go through the company. I'm sure she had more control over that. I think that she would. And I will ask her. Ty, my man, he says 13 mother effing days. That's right, big baby. 13 days, less than 2 weeks from the NFL draft, if you can believe that. Tortilla says the two horny Yinzers. Jelly Donut says this. All those Indian people who came over to this country looking at it. They're probably trying it on and using it, sticking it back in the box. Mark Malone says, yeah, I don't get it. He says, I don't get it. I don't want no little tongues flippering around in my butthole. I just don't. Jelly Donut says, tossing salad is a no-go. I couldn't agree with you more, Jello. It's just weird. It's weird. You know, when you're younger and you don't care and you're like, oh, let's do this. It's for you. I've never had an interest. It's a butthole. I don't know. Steeler Freak John says salad tossing has been around since the dawn. And it has, but it's real popular right now for whatever reason. Matter of fact, I'll get back into it. Yinzer Joe says this. I don't care how long it takes to sign Rodgers. Everybody's acting like he's holding them hostage when he doesn't need to be there until the last minute, and no one likes it. Boo hoo. He's just in a sense, Joe. I mean, don't you want him to be with the team? I mean, you do have, the new coaching system, the new West Coast system, new players. I don't know. I would think it would be, you'd kind of want your quarterback there, but yeah, go ahead, Mike. Looks like you had something to say.
I was gonna, he's not on the active roster, so it doesn't bother me at all. In maybe a training camp, if he signed a contract and doesn't share the training camp, then I'll panic. Until then, it's, it is what it is.
I mean, listen, people are panicking. Okay, but there's a lot of people that are just saying in a roundabout way. I mean, anything that we do in life, let's say for the show. Let's say we had a person that only came on certain days or when we were only doing certain things, but they didn't come all the rest of the time. And they only wanted to be a part of the good stuff. It kind of falls in that category. And I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with people, as we've dealt with that on the show before. So I understand it. I truly do. And again, you know what? In all fairness, it's giving Will Howard a more opportunity to get reps, and I'm okay with that as well. So for that, I'm okay. For the other, I'm not. And here's the thing. Yeah, he's not under contract. But just the fact of, I mean, again, if you're going to be on this team, dude, do you want to be a part of it or don't you? Or you're going to come in later and try and install yourself and everybody's on one page because you're a veteran. You've been in the league so much, you could just do all this without being around the team. I don't like that because the team needs him more than he needs them. They need to feel him out and understand him. And but again, we'll see. Something's going to happen eventually, guys. The deadline The deadline is 13 days away, so we'll see what is said. Let's go right here to right about here. Let's go to Corey. Don't drink that. Well, after people saw the Epstein files and saw people were eating babies, and I guess ass eating is a drop in the bucket. Let's go to dude says toss salad. That's prison sex, baby. Tortilla says this episode of the Two Horny Yinzers is brought to you by Tater Tart.
Ugh.
RB says, psh, in this generation, fascination with trying to be shocking like everything they do and is new and outrageous. Little do they know they watered down version of the 80s and 90s kids. I couldn't agree more. Kids don't have shit on what we did. Like I said the other week, I'd get home from school on a Friday. And my parents wouldn't see me till Sunday night. You know, people don't even let their kids out of their sights nowadays, and I don't blame them. Let's go on. Mark Malone said, I had this one chick try to put her finger in my ass one time, the first time we were together. Yeah. RB, I'm curious of the process of having a rubber and plastic poured all over your twat, over her twat, how that works out. You know what? That's a very good question. I'm wondering too. Jello Donut says this. Jello says, public service announcement. The G-spot is not in the asshole. It's the foreskin that is the G-spot on males. We did have that was a subject on an earlier episode as well, Mike, the G-spot in the male.
Yeah, I believe it was. My God, that was like early on in the show.
Yeah.
Way early.
Ty says, Mike, why hear this TJ Watt rumors? We do got some information on this. Also, Tortilla says, grab a Duke, don't lick a Duke. There you go. The OG, Yinzer Joe in the house. He says, Ryan Rodgers is familiar with the coach and the system. But nobody's, I mean, what if people, listen, what if they need him? The chances are he don't need them. I get that. But maybe they need him. Maybe the players would like to I don't know. Again, are you on the team or are you not? And listen, I'm not crying that he's holding us hostage. He's not. And again, I'm not really saying that I don't believe that the team doesn't know what he's going to do already either. But again, you know, if we have somebody on this show that's with us, I would like to have them when we need them and when would be beneficial for us. And again, I understand the argument. I do. When are we going to stop babying these people is what I want to know. I mean, come on. You made $400 million in this league. Show up. Either you're going to come or you're not going to come. Make the decision. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. We made a lot tougher decisions in our life without making that kind of money, believe me. Dude says, just think when you're done talking about it, Rodgers salad. RB, not officially being signed can also help for now, especially if he's willing to be flexible with the money, which it seems to be. And that's the thing. They know it's a buddy system right now with him. And that's what it's going to be. And that's the way it was last year. And it's not going to change. It's probably even going to get even more buddyish under his new coach, unless I don't know. And I don't know. We'll see. He says this. He also says, which is so they can make some moves on the night, draft night, and then figure out what he gets. That's a good possibility as well. I wouldn't rule that out. Mike McCarthy has to manage Rodgers. He has to coach Howard, 2 different tasks. Tortilla. And here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers better come out on fire then. If he's so good that he doesn't need all this preseason stuff, this offseason, he better be as good as any quarterback in the league. Otherwise, you could have been sharpening your skills. So he better be damn good this year. That's all I got to say, because he's going to play around again. He's probably we'll watch it play out. Tortilla eating ass started in Cleveland, and that is why they are the Browns. Despite what they say about Paul Brown, it's just a salad tossing. Very, very big in Cleveland, of course. Corey says this on Don't Drink That. I heard Tater and Derpy starting a new podcast called
Derpy
Creeps and Peeps.
Yeah.
Funny stuff. Don't drink that. Joe likes that. RB says these kids are fucking weak. I agree. They don't leave the house. You don't see kids out anymore. I drove through the neighboring town. It's a small city, and there's no kids out anymore. That whole entire main road used to be packed with people and kids. It's like a ghost town. It's unbelievable. Let's go right here. Corey, no. Let me go right here. Let me go somewhere, I promise. Sup, bro? I can't pronounce your name. I apologize. Let's go to Corey. Don't drink that. He says you can't. Oh, where'd it go? He says you can't build a effing rapport with new players if you don't show up. You need to get him to get timing down, learn personal habits, and where they shine as a quarterback. I mean, maybe he would have learned something about Roman Wilson last year if he would have been there or participated in preseason. I don't know. Again, it just I see the Mike's disagreeing, but
he was there at training camp.
Okay.
Like, this is, just team meetings and stuff. Like, he's not even on the roster.
Go ahead.
It's just, I don't know. It's just asinine. Like 2-3 days ago, oh my God, Rogers let him do his thing. Now, oh my God, he's missing so much. We're so far behind. It's just, I don't know. The conversation is just weird to me. Like, okay, he's not even on the team. I'm worried about everyone who has signed a contract is here doing their job. The Steelers know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Him and McCarthy said they talk to each other all the time, so they know the Steelers have plans in places for if he's going to decide to come back or not. So I don't get the sky is falling mentality about.
See, now if it was a ridiculous argument, I could understand why you're so pissed. You're so pissy about it, but it's not ridiculous. It's a common. I mean, if it was your workplace, you want everybody there, even if it's a guy that's been there for 40 years who knows what he's doing. You need him there because you want better performance.
I want the guy who's thinking about working here at the job. No, I want the guys who are here.
Absolutely. And what about
they're here, but he's not here. He's just a potential new hire that I don't know anything about. That, okay, I'm going to do my job until he shows up.
No, not a potential new hire. Somebody that's been with the job, as Aaron was. He was here last year.
So a rehire. We're bringing back someone in who knows how we
Mike, okay, so breaking
the boss.
Listen, I just want to say this
and bring it in. All right. Cool.
So I don't know how your business works, but I need you to understand the point of what I'm saying. You're really starting to move things around, and you got to stop. I don't think that this is a crazy argument. I think this is a natural argument that anybody in their lives would have. If there was somebody that was, kicking the can down the road a little bit, people, again, maybe they do within the organization. No, we don't know this one way or the other. So, I mean, if you argue it, you don't know. I mean, it's a possibility, it's a theory, but we don't know this. And at the end of the day, some of the younger people may need to have their quarterback around to, again, learn his personal habits, learn what he likes, learn what he wants. Maybe, again, if he was more involved, Roman Wilson would have known more of what he wanted last year instead of, not being good enough for Aaron to throw it to him, or even Muth or whatever. We don't know what happened. But at the end of the day, again, it's just it's bad practice in life. Again, he's not signed, so I'm going to give him that leeway. But if they know he is, and it's going to be another cupcake Aaron Rodgers here, then that's what it's going to be. We just have to accept that and understand that that's what it's going to be.
Well, yeah, like Jalen Warren said, hey, if he comes back, awesome. If he doesn't, man, it was great to have him here.
Oh, that is one person's opinion.
The most of the players are like, cool. If he's here, awesome. If not, hey, that was awesome that he was here.
And of course, he's going to say that. He's not going to. They're not going to come out and badmouth him.
It's just
with the possibility of him coming back. Come on, that's crazy. They don't want to. They're not going to get the ball. You know what I mean?
Be one of their shows today.
Well, I really am doing nothing wrong. You were the one that's actually kind of starting, so I'm going to move on. Let's stay on the board here, though. I am going to go right around. Yeah, see, it doesn't have to be like that, Mike. You could. I'm just, as you are stating your opinion, I'm stating mine. That's all. Let's go right here too. You got to have the right personnel in the right places. If you don't know your talent, then it seems ineffective to me. Jello Donut says this: only thing the Steelers do not have is a running back, or at least I don't have an idea. They got some running backs. Jalen Warren's coming back, then also Rico Dowdle. We got picked up from Carolina, which is a pretty nice pickup. So he'll be playing the role of Kenneth Gainwell basically this year. We'll have to watch how that plays out. Jello Donut follows it up by saying Rodgers better not suck or the fans better boo him the fuck out, and I'm sure they will. Steeler Freak John says this: the Rodgers salad can be ordered at the Derpy Vegan. You bring the meat restaurant.
Derpy.
Sounds scrumptious. And today's what I miss. Yeah, you might want to go back and watch. We did talk about some vaginas and some buttholes and a few other things. You might want to go back a little bit and check it out. And today's always great seeing you on the board. Jealous says this: parents got lazy and let the kids be patented by the screens. And that's what it is. Every single kid is in front of the screen like crazy. It's insane. Kids just don't go outside. Oh, Mike got something. See, this is how I can tell Mike's in a mood today. Here we go.
I didn't say anything. I wasn't even reacting to that.
Okay. But you started making faces when I said it, so naturally one would think that you were reacting to it. Let me move on. Let's go here to Richard. Always great seeing Richard in the house. Richard says, I hate when quarterbacks and receivers don't show up for training camps. Then the quarterback complains about the receivers not knowing their routes. Corey says at RB, right, I threw football with my son yesterday, and he threw his arm out on the first pass. Parented, got you on that, Joe. That's what I thought you were going for. Tortilla, because all the kids get taken to the island. John says this: is Mike breathing? Get a mirror. He's over there steeping. I don't know what his issue is today, but he's in a mood.
I'm not in a mood. I'm good.
All right, RB. In fairness, you aren't getting timing in shorts and t-shirts. Let's also go to Corey. I mean, listen. It's okay. We disagree. It doesn't have to be that kind of show. Don't drink that. Corey says, I'm not arguing that, Mike. I'm just saying for people that says he doesn't need to be at camp.
Or at, what organized team activities. So I'm not worried until if he signs a contract, and he doesn't show up to these things, then I'll be worried. All
right, we'll just put that in your pocket. I'm sure we'll be having that conversation down the road. Yinzer Joe says this is not Rodgers' job to coach the new players. But don't listen. I know, but if you guys ever played on teams, I wonder, because some of these things are just they're no brainers. If you play football, you know these things, and I don't understand what the problem why people aren't getting it. It's not Rodgers' job to do to coach new players. It's the coach's job, and veterans that were signed, if they can't do the basics, there's a problem. The rookies need coaching, not Rodgers. All right, he better be damn good. That's all I'm saying. End of days, I want Rodgers to come back. You know what? And listen, I'm cool either way. That's my deal. If he's here, I'm cool with it. If he's not, I'm cool with it. Because again, Will's going to get a lot of reps one way or another if Rodgers don't comes back, and I do like that. So I'm either way goes. What are you going to do? I'm cool with it either way. Mark Malone, yeah, that's a thing. He doesn't work there. Yinzer Joe says exactly Tortilla. Oh, hold on, and I missed Tortilla. Tortilla says, yeah, I don't like it, but at the same time, the only people he really hasn't really met yet is probably Rico and Pittman. John says the warning flash just went on. The meltdown is coming. I feel it. And then he's doing that face like, no, not me.
I'm good, man.
Oh, I know. Let's go to Richard. Always great seeing Richard Jankowski on the board. He says it's building chemistry. That's exactly what it is, Richard. Mark Malone says he better throw it to Roman and Muth Daddy this fucking year. Ty says A-Rod waiting to see that left side of the offensive line fixed. He did get sacked by his own offensive tackle last year, so.
Right? He's probably thinking, is this guy coming back or not? He's waiting to see the progress report on Brojo before he decides.
Tortilla says, don't take the bait, Mike. Don't do it. Jelly Donut says, ooh, Dwaddle. Okay, even better. So Rodgers has no excuse. Yeah, I agree. Dwaddle's a nice pickup, man. Over 1,000 yards last year. And you know what? So was Jalen Warren, even with Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield doing everything that he did. Jalen almost even got 1,000 yards on the ground. Was it Jalen, right, Mike?
Yeah. He felt like 70 yards short, I think.
Yeah. So again, you got two pretty good running backs. They run hard, and it just kind of goes Jelly into what it is that they're doing. These bigger, more physical wide receivers, these physical runners. Let's get this offensive line another year together. We might be able to bully some teams and find a ways to win football games we weren't against better teams, hopefully. Don't Drink That said it's not Aaron's job to coach him, but he wants to play OC when he does. Exactly. When he doesn't like the play call and gets the blame when shit goes bad. So it makes sense that he would want to guide his young teammates. Don't Drink That follows it up by saying if and when he shows up. Let's go right here. RB says Pittman and Rogers are friends. Pittman spoke on this. Aaron Murphy says 9-8, which it's a possibility. Welcome back, Aaron. Nice seeing you on the board. It's up 9-8's a possibility. No two ways about it. Tortilla says, yeah, we'll be fine. Steeler Freak says this. Ryan doesn't know he is pushing Mike's buttons. It's his personality and style. I know this. I do know that. I can't control that.
It's because we know how to push each other's buttons.
And I know how to diffuse it too, and that's what I tried to do. So I hope you recognize that as well.
Nah, you're pushing buttons, motherfucker.
I'm reading the messages.
Maybe Tortilla's pushing my buttons.
That is very true.
It's all Tortilla's fault, actually.
And I gotta be honest, it's so nice out lately. The temperature. I can't even imagine being upset right now. I can't. I tried.
Maybe it's because I'm cooped up.
Maybe
because it's a me thing. I recognize
it is a you thing.
Me. Oh, I recognize. Oh, completely. I 100% recognize it, and I don't know why I'm annoyed. I had a nice nap before the show. I know.
I'm starting to recognize your patterns, and it is because you didn't get enough sleep. But again, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Let me finish. John says this, Mike, except let it roll off. You guys are better together than pulling the Steinbrenner, Bill Martin. Yeah, man, for sure.
It's fun every once in a while.
It's all good. Like I said, we've done this a few times. It's we land on our feet pretty quickly, but we do appreciate the concern. Thank you. Aaron Murphy here and says this 1,000 yards is meaningless stat. Well, Aaron, I did do the math, and here's something that you have to understand as well. Not every running back got 1,000 yards. Not every number one running back got 1,000 yards. So the number itself is something to look at. And saying 1,000 yards doesn't mean anything. Okay, maybe 1,250 is the new 1,000 yards. But again, you can look at the 1,000 yards and see how the players are performing. If they're under 1,000, you can say, okay, well, they didn't even get to the 1,000 plateau. But 1,000 is still a number that you could look at and monitor how the guy's season is going. If a guy got over 1,000 yards, you know what? He had a pretty good season. I'm not going to say it's great. If he had 1,300 yards, hell yeah. But at the end of the day, a lot of running back ones didn't even reach 1,000 yards on the year. So, I mean, it's a number that's used. It may be meaningless to you, but in a sense, if you kind of put it into perspective of how the backs are just around that number, it's an even number. It's easy to do. And I think that's what it is. Back in the day, 1,000 yards was a good thing for a running back, and 3,000 yards was good for a quarterback. And I understand that quarterbacks go past that all the time. But it's a good litmus. You can look at it and say, oh, well, this guy, he was supposed to have a good year. He didn't even get 1,000. So, whether that means anything to you or not, it's still, you could kind of identify the kind of year players having around that 1,000 number. Is it as significant as it used to be? No, not at all. But again, for conversation, you get the point of what I said. You know what I mean? We talked, and Jalen, okay, he almost had a 60 yards short of 1,000. Okay, that gives you an idea what kind of year he had. He didn't have 1,000. 1,000 isn't great anymore. It's not the standard, but he almost got there. So this is, you can picture what kind of year Jalen had. Rico Dowdle had 1,000 last year. Okay, well, at least he got the 1,000-yard mark. Other running back ones around the league did not. So you could kind of compare and contrast by looking at that particular number. I do agree with you, Aaron. I mean, it's not the same. I'm a little bit long in the tooth here. I've been around and I've seen football for quite some time, and I do understand what you're saying about the math. But again, I think it's something that you could kind of, base information off of.
Yeah, and he was, Christian McCaffrey had 311 rushing attempts last year. Jalen Warren had 211, and he wasn't that far off from McCaffrey's numbers. McCaffrey ran for 1,200 yards. Jalen 958. Jalen had 4.5 yard average. McCaffrey only 3.9. So if he had the same amount of carries as McCaffrey, he would have had more rushing yards. Probably would have finished with more rushing touchdowns as well, because he only had 6 rushing touchdowns. Would have had more receiving yards. So it's a nice little stat to look and compare and contrast. These players, and you look about the attempts, the yards per attempts.
Absolutely.
Jalen Warren.
It's a nice round number.
Yeah, and if he had all those, he would have been around. God damn it, another 100 carries, he would have been around 1,400 yards. Been one of the one of the best backs in the NFL. So it's a nice little, it's a litmus test. It's a nice little baseline to see
Absolutely.
how they're performing in the offense too. Because it was 1,000 yards with 100 less carries than one of the best running backs of this generation. It
Absolutely.
helps put it into perspective to compare and it's a nice starting point to compare and contrast players across the league.
Get down. Go ahead. Jelly Donut says, Lord, I hope it's not another 9-8. I think it could be better. I do think it could be better, and I think it might be better. But again, we'll see what happens in the next 13 days. We're going to learn a lot about this team by what we draft, about if we hear anything about the quarterback. So I hope you're right. I hope it's not 9-8. I think we could do better. I hope we're going to do better. Aaron is very optimistic. He's saying 20-0 on the board, and I will take that. I'll take it in a minute. Let's go. Even though I think 19 games would be the best we could do, if in fact we did go undefeated. But we'll go with we'll stick with the 20 because it even sounds better. Corey says this. Now I think my comment was one that set Mike off. LOL. But it's all good.
No,
I'm
it
sure
wasn't.
I'll redeem myself later. Probably.
It's
I don't
all
remember what it
right.
was, but I'm sure it was you.
It may have been the way Ryan was like responding to me, like the tone of voice and in the speech pattern.
See, this is
because what
these
it
are-
is like. Sometimes I recognize his pattern when he is like, "Oh, he's just going to railroad me the whole episode," and he wasn't. But that pattern, I think he was just speaking fast, and I thought you were trying to run me over. I'm like,
See,
"Oh, here we go again." That's how I interpreted it. But you were just speaking fast.
This is a problem you have with somebody who's demented, and it's.
Listen,
yeah.
a problem with someone who overthinks everything. That's me
No.
and you, brother. That's me and you to a T.
So anyway,
it's the way I interpreted.
it is your
what you're
fault, Corey. So go think about what
Yeah,
you've
fuck
done.
you, Corey. You just made the list. You and
Go put
Cody.
your head down and think about what you've done. John says tortilla, good one. John also says 25. The flash to bang can be real quick on this show. It's because they both have passion, and Ryan is gifted. Okay. 007. I always love this name on the terrible board. 007 says, do you think that Caleb Johnson is also in the running back room? And where do you think he should be expected to contribute? Or do you think he was a waste of pick? That question is going to be answered this year, 00. And unfortunately, I can't give you the answer because I think it could really go either way. I wasn't in the small sample size that we got of Caleb that thrilled with what I seen. I didn't see acceleration. I didn't see movement. I didn't see tackle breaking abilities. But there was a couple times that he did get a run that he busted up the middle for about 9 yards. And so, I mean, there was small things you like, small things you didn't. But I think this year getting more of an opportunity, not getting yanked at week 2, I think we're going to get a better idea of what's going on with him. And again, every play could potentially be a player's last play of the season. Jaylen Warren and Dowdle, one of these guys go down. Caleb Johnson becomes very important. So we better hope that he's a success when he does get that opportunity, because it's not out of the question for a running back to get hurt. These guys get hit 30 times a game. And any play could be your last. So let's hope that's not the case. But I think this year we'll get a better feeling on Caleb Johnson in his second year, and I think the coach wants to make a point to do that as well, Mike, and the coaching staff. So I think we'll learn a little bit more about Caleb, and maybe they'll work it, Mike, to where he can become more effective. They'll use him in a different way, perhaps, that he could use his skills to show what he got.
Yeah, like the scheme that he's best in, that was under what he did in college and in the old coaching staff. Now they have a new blocking scheme. Let's see if he can adapt to that scheme. If not, he could be an early casualty of the new regime. But like Mike McCarthy said, everyone has a clean slate. This is a new regime. We're giving everyone a fair shot. They're not coming in with any perceived biases on the player. So he has a chance, but now it's up to Caleb Johnson. It's up to him. Can he do it? Can he change his running style? And it's going to be a big test for him.
Absolutely. Tortilla says this. I feel like that's most Steeler fans, though. I argue with more Steeler fans than anyone. And here's the thing. What I learned about Steeler fans, there's usually two opinions. And both sides are, for whatever reason, strongly opinionated. For many reasons. They love their team. But then they'll argue. They'll argue till they're blue in the face. But it's like, you know what? Who cares?
And too, like when I argue with Steeler fans too, like nuance is thrown out the window. It's the argument is black or white. There's no room for. I see where you're coming from that point, but I think you're.
But I want to play devil's advocate and argue with you about something totally different.
Yeah, I will.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
Yeah, I
because it's literally not because of the Steelers. It's usually the personalities, and people are fucking creeps these days, man. Especially on the internet when you can't reach across and punch them in the face. People are extra bad. It's just what's going on these days. It's the way it is. It's the way that things are going. Let's do scoot along right here to Ty. Agree, Mike. That's the Smith special. John says I signed Ryan up for the old couples Love on the Spectrum show coming up on Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, tomorrow Tyson Fury has a fight at 2:00 p.m. I'm sure it's not going to be till about 5 or 6 when he actually fights. But Tyson Fury tomorrow is fighting some Russian, the weird, very hard. I don't know his name. Makudov is his last name or something like that.
Isn't he playing left wing for the Devils?
I don't know, but this guy has a big fight tomorrow against Tyson Fury. That will be on Netflix. I will be watching that one for sure. Mark Malone says 13-4 this year. Ty is saying 11-6. John is saying you wrote that last year. Mark Malone, you wrote that last year. Mark Malone says I was wrong. He's going with it again, but also he was anticipating the start of Mason Rudolph last year as well. So I don't know what Mark was thinking. Let's go here. He says I signed Vanilla Thunder up for The Bachelor. There you go. There you go.
See, now Tortilla, you're making it back to the friend list.
So he's on The Bachelor and he wants to start arguing with everybody. Yeah, that's you know what? I'm all for it. Believe me, I'm all for it.
I'm not going to argue with a bunch of baddies.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
I will too.
I've seen you in every situation. I've seen you argue with women.
You saw me at the tailgate when the women were flocking to Vanilla Thunder. But I am Fat Jesus now. I kind of repented my ways.
John says I took a picture of Derpy's face during the past meltdown. He looked panicked and needed comfort food.
He's been eating nonstop ever since.
I know. He was probably eating, as a matter of fact, when that went down. Ty says I got faith in 20, and I hope so too. I hope 20 could do fine. Ronald Albright, my man, what's up, dude? Always easy. I'm kind of reading his text and talking at the same time. Always great to see. He says, I can easily describe Caleb in 2 words. Tim Worley, a good friend of our show. As a matter of fact, you could go back and find the episode where Tim came on. Very, 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 very nice guy. Go check it out. Hey, Somber, what's up, bro? But you could go back and find the Tim Worley. You could find Levon Kirkland, Chad Brown, Chucky Jacoby. Go back. There's all kind of good interviews right here on the Dum Yinzers network. But Tim Worley, that's a pretty good assessment, Ronald. We'll continue to watch. Again, maybe if he starts fumbling a lot, we could definitely say he is Tim Worley, and then we'll go from there. Let's go right here to Corey. Don't drink that. What's really crazy is a lot of the time we're all arguing the same shit, but it's exactly what's going on. And that's exactly. Listen, listen, we don't go into politics on this show for a reason, but if you watch people argue right now, they're literally arguing the same exact things. They're just changing the names. As soon as something happens, the people that's arguing about this will totally get on those people that were just literally doing the same thing that they were doing. This is what's going on. People they just want to fight. I don't think people, because they find a meme. It's a meme for one, and then they'll get on there and they're like, oh, well, this is this, and then the person will get on and argue, and I'm thinking that person was just getting on that person last week. It is crazy. It's crazy, and that's why I don't touch politics on this show. I do have an opinion, but again, it's dumb. It's dumb what's going on. Do it face to face. Let's see how those conversations turn out. I'm just saying, let people punch each other a couple of times. Get back to reality. Everybody's too comfortable on their side of the computer. I'm just saying.
Undusen, ja.
Exactly. That's why I refuse. I can't. Come on. Let's get back on the board, though. Let's go right here to John. John says third rounders have 30 to 50% to be successful. Also, Tyrone, he says, I was telling Tortilla yesterday, and I was telling you that I was going to go to Taco Bell, and I did. I got two cheesy gordita crunches and a side of nacho cheese, and it was fucking awesome.
That sounds so good.
It was great. Let's go. Let me finish Tortilla here. Or Ty, I'm sorry. I was telling Tortilla yesterday I used to argue with Steeler fans about JPJ his rookie year, that he would be the best. And and here's another thing, and this doesn't piss me off. As a matter of fact, I think it's kind of funny now. But when somebody puts something relatively important up on social media, there's always the one person that hits the laughing face just to be a dick. And I'm starting to dig that. I'm starting to think, oh man, that's actually kind of funny because, sometimes it does fall into my area of humor. But it's, this is social media. This is what the world is now. You could say something that you totally believe in 100% and it's near to your heart. And it's been that way for 40 years. And you put it up there and somebody can laugh at it immediately. So I'm just saying, it's just what it is now. People are creeps. Go ahead, Michael.
No, I like poking the bear.
Oh, no poke. Let's go right here to John. John says, Sommer didn't miss anything important. You did not. Just Sassy Cassie's vagina at the very beginning of the show. If you want to go back and rewind, we did have. Mike, I throw it up. What the hell? There it is, everybody. Have you ever wondered what it felt like? Well, now you can. Don't let my small stature fool you. Not everything in me is little, guys. You can now get the Sassy Cassie, the smallest stripper on the planet at 2'11". You could get her toy right now available at Intimately. Go check it out, everybody. Sassy will be here in a couple weeks as she comes to town. 2 shows right here in Western PA. A couple weeks. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait to talk to her about her vagina toy. It's going to be fun stuff. Let's go on to the next comment right here. John says this, the true sign is the guy who admits he was wrong. And you know what? I'm always wrong. I admit that. I'm not the, even though it seems like I pretend like I know a lot, I don't. And I'll be the first to admit you, I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm really not. I'm just a person trying to get through this thing like everybody else.
I'll never say I'm wrong on the show, but off air, I was like, yeah, right, I was wrong.
I know. Ty says no somber. Also, Mark Malone. Remember, I was saying 12-5 with Rudolph, though. In hell, we might have gone 12-5 had DK not been suspended. Somber says, bet Mark Caboli in the house. Always great seeing Mark Caboli, who's known for eating with his ass open. Let's see what
ass open.
Let's see what Mark says. Excuse me. He says, Tortilla, Mom wants you to come help put the patio furniture out tomorrow. She tried to call you earlier. I told her I'd take care of it now. Off to give her the Chi-Town chili dog. Google it, baby.
I don't want to. No. I'm not going to Google that.
Mark Caboli shot out of a cannon today. Tortilla says Caboli farted and his power went out. They're wondering what happened in Iran. That wasn't bombs, everybody. That was not bombs. Let's go to Somber. He says, this or that mindset, there's no middle. Yeah, you're right. And everybody's so extreme. Everybody's got to be extreme. And I told Mike on the way up to the Steeler game, I remember we're in the car having this conversation. I said 2 things. Provide some result. Provide resolve. People just want to tell the other person how stupid they are. Okay, well, you're not proving anything about yourself. You're just proving that you're an idiot calling somebody name. Provide resolve. You can sit there and badmouth everybody until you're blue in the face, but until you have resolve or an opinion on how things could be better, that's what I'm saying. I'm just convinced that people are they're creeps, man. They just want to fight. They just want to argue. And again, if that's your thing, whatever. But it be what it be. Let's do scoot up here to Tortilla. Ty says Tortilla. Here we go. LOL. John says I gave 2 day counters, one for the last technical difficulty and one for the last meltdown. And yesterday, Mike did go off and get married while I went off to the
ayahuasca retreat.
The ayahuasca resort. That's right. And colonics too.
Ooh.
Taco Bell gang. Always, baby. That Taco Bell was freaking scrumptious. And I haven't had it in a while either. Corey, don't drink that. He says the best way to argue or debate someone is to start in a place you both agree at and argue out instead of trying to argue your way in middle ground. Hardly ever. And that's the other thing. The second part of it, when I'm my conversation, if you don't want extreme, we have to stop voting extreme. Vote for more moderate candidates. Get more moderate people in there, the people that are level-headed. We're going to try to piss each other off and go the furthest route we possibly can to piss the other people off. Well, that's not doing you any good either. Because now the other team, they're going to put their person out that's going to piss you off, and you're going to do. So again, it's not making anything better. People need to, again, have answers. For one, don't just call somebody a name. Makes you look like a douche. And for 2, vote moderate. Get more moderate. Get more in the middle. That's, in my opinion, those 2 things could go a long way. Will they fix everything? Probably not, but I think it's a good start. Let's do scoot up here a little bit more. I'm going to go to John. He says, I never voted. Both sides work together. I couldn't agree with you more. He says, they need each other to blame. One party would cause a revolution. The same arguments were going on between Hamilton and Jefferson. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Tortilla, the two dumb therapists. That's right. Two dumb therapists. Also, John says this, those guys used the newspapers to brainwash and spread their propaganda, which back in 09, they literally passed a bill that's saying that you could use propaganda on Americans. And we were focusing on other things, and it went right under our noses, but it's still in there. So who knows what the hell they're doing to us now. Let's go here to end of days. End of days says Steelers must be smart and take a quarterback in the second or third round. Here's a couple things, guys. We were like 23. We're at 23 of our 30 visits right now. And have you noticed that Ty Simpson has not been here yet? The one name that everybody seems to keep connecting with the Steelers, not in, Mike. We got 23 of 30 down on the visits. That's not including the local visits. So 23 of 30 is where we're at. And again, still no Ty Simpson.
Still no Ty Simpson. And as we get closer, we're getting to like more and more guys that you see picked in the first round. You know, we had Mekhi Lemon come in yesterday, the safety from Toledo. We have 3 guys coming in today, and none of them have been Ty Simpson. And like all the quarterbacks we've looked at seem to be round 5 through 7 type quarterbacks.
And what do we need that for, right? I mean, we already have a 5 through 7 quarterback, and we have a big draft coming up next year with a lot of good quarterbacks.
Yeah, and you because if you don't like a guy, don't take a guy just because everyone says, "Oh, we need a guy." You don't do it. You don't do it.
And you have Mason, who's again, he knows his team, and he's the backup. And you have Will. So again, I mean, if you want a fourth to go to take the preseason like you did last year, maybe I don't know, but again, it really doesn't make much sense. But let me get these lists out, Mike. This is what went down. Of course, on Wednesday, the list was Skylar Bell, the wide receiver out of UConn, was in town. Jacoby Thomas, the safety out from Miami, he was in town on Wednesday, and the BYU linebacker Jack Kelly also in town for visits on Wednesday. Yesterday, Mike, 3 more players came in as well. Let's see, Mekhi Lemon. He was in here probably freaking everybody out with his head nod. Mekhi Lemon, he was in town yesterday for a visit. Of course, the wide receiver out of Michigan, or USC, Marlon Klein, the tight end out of Michigan. He was in town yesterday for a visit. And also Emmanuel McNeil. Emmanuel McNeil was visiting yesterday, Mike, the safety from Toledo. So that is where the visits are right now. And again, as of now, we hit 23 of 30, and that is non-local visits. So those the Penn State guys, the Pitt guys of this nature, they don't count on this list. So 23 out of 30. No Ty Simpson. I don't have a problem with that. I think I don't like the idea of bringing Ty Simpson, but again, Mike, just notable to talk about, because again, at the end of the day, this is something that this name you've heard many a times leading up to this draft, which is now just 13 days away. But again, still interesting that we are just 13 days away, and Ty Simpson still hasn't been to the Steel City.
Yeah, and I just don't think it's going to happen, and I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want any of these quarterbacks to be seen as a potential starter, and he would be like the only one who would. Like, if they draft Carson Beck in the 4th, 5th round, okay, it is what it is. That's a sign that he's going to be a developmental project behind Will Howard, to see, like, do either of these guys have what it takes to be a franchise pick or not, or a franchise quarterback or not. Cool. That's okay. But if you get a Ty Simpson and it's immediately like, when's he going to start? When's he going to play? Oh, no, you're going to have a battle now between him and Will Howard. They don't need any of that. They just need to keep doing what they're doing, building this team, filling the holes that they need to fill, and just chug along, because I don't think any of these quarterbacks are the answer, and it sounds like the coaching staff doesn't think any of these quarterbacks are the answers, because the way they've been talking about Will Howard, it seems like they're kind of invested in him to give him a shot, or at least take a good look at him in training camp and the entire process throughout the year to see if he has something to become a guy down the line. And they always have next year to get another quarterback if they don't like him.
And a good next year, a good class of quarterbacks. And let's just say you mess around and play around with Will and Mason, and you don't exactly get to where you want to get. It gets you a little bit closer to that quarterback. I'm not saying throw it, but I'm just saying if it happens, it happens. And fortunately, sometimes that's the way that it happens for you. Things, you can't have perfect everything and then expect to catch lightning in a bottle. You can't have everything. You can't have everything. Let's go. Let's move on. Mike, you good?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Steelers must be smart and take quarterback in the second or third round. And today's also John. John says, watch an old movie from the 70s called Network. They were talking the same shit back 50 years ago. Chad Schrader, what's up, my man? He says, what's up, Ryan and Mikey? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's up, baby? Always great seeing Chad on the terrible board. My man Ty says this. Hell no, we ain't taking no quarterback second or third round waste of pick. Sosh, great seeing Sosh all the way from Switzerland, everybody. He says, greetings from Switzerland, you sexy bastards.
Damn straight. We know where the sexiness is on this screen.
Yeah, that's right. We do.
Right here, baby.
We sure do. Let's go here. John says some folks know they are being lied to and are okay with it I know. It's a crazy world we live in. No two ways about it. Let's go here. Corey says, well, there's that rhyme, but also it's starting from a place of respect. When someone respects you, they're more than likely hear you out. Absolutely. Why hear somebody out that doesn't have your back all the time? I don't know. Again, that's just me. John, dude says, if Mighty Mouse and Superman had a fight, who would win? I would guess Superman. He's bigger.
Honestly, Mighty Mouse, he's small and compact, dense. There's a lot of energy in those punches for being so small. He might have a chance.
But doesn't Superman have like something with his eyes where he could like zap you with his eyes or something?
But isn't like Mighty Mouse just like a version of Superman, but in mouse form?
Yeah. I like Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, I mean, I like Speedy Gonzalez's buddy that just hung out and was drunk or high all the time.
Oh, that's what is his name?
Something Sombrero?
No. Oh, what is it? Anybody on the board? What was the other guy? Sleepy Rodriguez or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I forget. Where's Cody? Where's Cody when you need him?
Right. He knew it the last time we asked him.
Cody would know this. Let's go here to Somber. He says, how about them Steelers? Somber, always great to see you, bro, in the house. My man. Let's go to John. Says the media was dying. Then the Trump reality show came and brought life back into falling industry. Public enemy. Don't believe the hype. These guys called out the news and was screened. Steelers, John also says this. They could only go on the radio after 10 p.m. Ty says Omar don't want Simpson. That's why. And I'm not a big fan of it either. I just don't know if it's ever going to yield any fruit at all. I just don't understand where it would fit with anything moving forward. RB says, I agree. I don't agree with everything John Fetterman says or does, but Fetterman is a good example of not having a line on every GD suspect. Maybe many could learn from Fetterman. Sosh says this. Sosh says there's been reports that Khan is trying to gather next year capital. Makes me think they don't see Howard as a future in none of this year's quarterbacks. You know what? And that's the thing. This year's quarterbacks aren't impressive to anybody. I think that even Fernando Mendoza is a stretch, grabbing him at 1 for the Vegas Raiders. You might not see another quarterback drafted in the first round, Mike.
Yeah, you might, unless the team is really quarterback desperate. Like I can see the Jets with their second first round pick taking Ty Simpson, going, hey, we need a quarterback, so let's go get one. So it's just I can see it happening, but it wouldn't surprise me if he somehow slips to the second round.
Let's get into a few things here, Mike. I did already mention it, and I don't hate the fact that Aaron isn't here. Of course, again, I like the fact that Will is getting reps. It's probably, getting him and Mason are probably splitting their first team reps. I'm cool with that. At least, they're preparing to be ready if they're called upon. So that is one thing that I'm not complaining about. And again, Aaron is Aaron. If you didn't expect this, I don't know what to tell you. This is exactly what he did last year. So it really shouldn't surprise anybody. So again, if you're trying to find a silver lining in this, at least Will Howard and Mason Rudolph are getting to practice and sharpen their skills. Also, let's talk about Mike. Adam Schefter. Even Adam Schefter is getting irritated by the Aaron Rodgers situation, saying either you want to play or you don't. It shouldn't be that hard. I agree. I'm on the same page, and I understand that everybody isn't, but I'm on the same page with Adam Schefter. But we are still waiting with only 13 days from right now, if you can believe that. Just 13. I remember when they put that clock down there, Mike. It was 200, or the big sign. What is it?
The countdown clock.
The countdown clock. It was 250 days when they put it down there. I'm like, we're down to 13 days.
It's right around the corner, bro. It can't get here fast enough. Like it really cannot. I need this. I'm tired of the speculation. I want to see goddamn results.
Yeah, I do too. Let's get into some more things here. We're going to talk about, guys. We got a lot to get into here, actually. Let's talk about. It was brought up on the board a few minutes ago about trade possibilities. You're hearing names now leading up to the draft, Mike, and three names that came up in three different articles I read this morning are being brought up heavily in regards to a trade with Dallas because of Nick Herbig, and Nick is going to be looking for his contract extension and everything coming up. Dallas keeps popping up, Mike, in different trade rumor scenarios, all the way from the inside to the outside linebackers. Apparently, the Patrick Queen that fell through, Mike, because they wanted to trade just straight up a third-round draft pick for Patrick Queen, and we felt that we should be able to get a little bit more than that for Patrick Queen. And then also now with the Cowboys got the word of us having to handle this Nick Herbig contract eventually. They're saying, well, why can't we get one of your linebackers? They are so desperate in Dallas to fix that defense and make it stronger, Mike. I think they've wanted every single defensive player in the league at some point this offseason. But so now the TJ Watt possibilities and even Alex Highsmith possibilities are being thrown around, like, just because, again, you kind of have a good situation at the edge. If you're the Steelers, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
How do you handle this? Do you throw Dallas some crumbs and move one of these guys again, because you're going to be looking at that Nick Herbig contract, and I'm sure he's going to want some money.
He's going to want some money because I was on Twitter the other day, and last year when he was on the Cam Hayward podcast, he was saying he's a spot track junkie. He watches and sees everyone's contracts at the edge position. So he's kind of like TJ Watt, just looking at that money, and he's probably going to want a nice substantial contract because he knows how productive he is. And if the Steelers want to keep him, they know they're going to have to pay a pretty penny for him. And the way to do that is to ship off either Highsmith or TJ Watt. And the most logical one would be shipping off TJ Watt. But with that salary and the cap hit and everything, are you going to get much value for him? Are you going to get anything more than a third round for him?
You know what,
Based
Mike?
on production and contract,
the value I think you get for moving TJ Watt is to get out from underneath that huge ass contract and have money to give to other players and build a team.
Yeah, and if they're willing to do that and take a little bit of backlash from the fans, oh well, go ahead and do it. He would be the one that I would move because he's getting longer in the tooth than everyone else. But like I keep saying, these guys get hurt, all of them do. So you kind of need anyone, or you kind of need all three of them there to be productive. But for the sake of this argument or discussion that we're having, like, I would not be opposed to trading either one of those two if it helps us land a higher pick to get someone to fill up an actual position of need. Because to get better assets, you kind of have to ship off the parts that you have an excess of, and we have an excess of edge rushers, and we have two older ones while we have a younger one. So those two older ones got to come in to the equation.
I got to be honest. Yeah. You're right. Let me move on here. If we're going to find where we be, let's go right here. Maybe they do get a quarterback, though. Mark says RB says Ty isn't going to make it to 21. I can see Arizona trading down some, or even the Jets or the Cleveland taking Simpson way earlier than what the mock draft dummies are predicting. He's saying, and you know what? I don't have a problem with agreeing with that either. I don't know if these guys, if this is who Arizona and this is who the Jets and this is who these teams think are going to be their guy, do it. I don't know. Pull the trigger. I just don't think it would be the right move for us. Mark Malone says, I like Robertson. I'm sorry. Dude says the NIL money changed the quarterback coming out for the draft. Also, Tortilla, he says, be like Men in Black with Beck and Lemon. Be like Men in Black with Beck and Lemon. Let's go right here to Somber. He says, Deke said that Marlon Klein is a 6th or 7th round pick. Let's scoot up here a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit right here. RB says, I like Perkins' demeanor. I don't like Perkins' 220-pound frame. Ty says my top guys right now is 1 Vega, 2 Lemon, 3 Cooper Jr., 4 EM Dub, 5 McDonald first round. Also, no, I don't want to get into that yet. Get into that in just a moment. Let me just scoot up here a little bit more. Well, here's the thing. I was going to say this. You have to also consider that there's going to be 2 teams in our division that desperately need wide receivers too. So we're worrying about this, worrying about people ahead of us stealing our quarterbacks. And the thing that we do need is the wide receiver spots. Baltimore, they lost Likely. They lost another set of hands, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Cleveland, they're going to be hunting. And with all these big name wide receivers, there might not be quite the pickings that we want to be come 21, Mike. So, we're worrying about this, that, or the other. Should that be put into the fact that we're talking about the wide receiver room being so strong, you could get your guard or tackle in the first round and still have enough surplus of good wide receivers in the second round to make up for that? Or is there too much of a need out there, Mike, for the wide receiver position that we might have to jump on that at 21 just to get a guy that we are going to be happy with?
You might have to if there's a run, because like you're saying, the teams that need them, there's a lot of teams above us that need need wide receivers.
There sure are.
It's insane once you think about it. So that they might have to, or trade up to get one, then trade up again in the second round. Hopefully, someone like Pregnon falls there too. So you more or less get, because he's like a borderline first round talent. So if you can trade up in round 1, get your receiver, trade up round 2, get your guard. Yeah, you may have to give up a couple of your third round picks this year to do it, but guess what? You got top end talent, and you still have a couple picks to work with to get even some more talent. But you've addressed 2 key areas of need. So you might have to, and like I always say, if you love someone and you want to get them, don't be afraid to trade up and get them. If you think they're going to be that much of an addition to your team, that they're going to improve you so much, spend some picks to go get your guy. And don't be afraid to make a splash. And Omar Khan showed he's not afraid to make moves. So we'll see, because it's going to get real tight there. Because like the Browns, I think, picked twice before us, if I'm not mistaken. I know the Ravens definitely picked before us. They have the same needs. Us and the Ravens have the same needs. They have the same need. They need wide receivers.
They have the same need to get the guy that we want before we get him too.
Yeah,
I mean, I've literally seen Cleveland say they need everything that we literally need.
Yeah.
Just to, So again,
so like it's sitting there at like this discussion about us in Dallas at 12. I don't know if that's just internet smoke or stuff that's being leaked to people to get it out there to kind of like brace the fans for like, hey, this might happen. This trade might happen, because we need to leapfrog some teams if we want to get, if we want to get Vega, we're going to have to leapfrog potentially Baltimore. If we want to get one of the wide receivers, they start following, we're going to have to leapfrog Baltimore. It's going to be a wild draft, because there were reports from insiders saying you might see a lot of trades from what they're hearing internally from GMs. Yes. There's going to be a lot of wheeling and dealing.
You're right. I couldn't agree more. Let me scoot up here on the board. Let's go right here to John. John, the Steeler Freak, says this. He says, RB. I think this is to Robert, actually. I think maybe. This area is purple that helps him be mod, but agree there must be more like him. The dust will settle in 2 years. There isn't another TV show guy on either side for now. Mark Malone says, hell yes, at Tortilla. Mark Malone also follows it up by saying, I think they wanted the Docs to get a closer look at Beck's elbow. Somber says Perkins can't cover to save his life. Also, Mike, let me just go back to what you were saying for just a second. You think about it. I mean, Cleveland, who literally just drafted 2 quarterbacks last year. You have the Deshaun Watson situation. I mean, come on, he's going to sue them basically to play. Who knows what the hell's going to go on with him? And then they're going to turn around and say, well, Cleveland's interested in grabbing Ty Simpson in the first round. See, I mean, there's always fuckery going on. Because if they do, listen, I'm not going to say they're not stupid, because they're very stupid. And if they would draft another quarterback, if they would draft one in the first round, I think it would prove how stupid they were. but this just goes to show you as much that these teams they mess with each other. There's no two ways about that. Again, you grabbed 2 quarterbacks last year, 2. And you're now talking about grabbing Ty Simpson in the first round. I 100% think that is to mess with the Steelers. Grab your mic, man.
I'm sorry. I muted myself. I'm sorry. It's kind of stupid on Cleveland's part to even think that because, we're not going after Ty Simpson. But, like, I'm looking at teams above us right now and, like, their needs. From 5 all the way down through, like, 16, there are so many teams that need a wide receiver, a guard, wide receiver, guard, wide receiver, guard. There's a lot. Just going from 5 down through 9, you got the Jets who need a receiver and a guard. The Browns need a receiver and a guard. The Skins need a receiver. Saints need a receiver. And then the Kansas City needs a receiver. So all the receivers could be gone in that little window, depending if teams get nervous because they start seeing receivers being drafted. So everyone could be gone in that little section. It's probably not going to happen, but that's a real thing that the Steelers have to game out in their mock draft sessions that they game plan for. And it's going to be some wheeling and dealing, and hopefully we don't have to pay a premium price to move up.
I agree. Steeler Freak says the sad thing is that real smart people have learned that they can make money helping the divide along. Okay, no more political talk stuff for me. And you're right, they can. Ty says this. Somber Deek said that for real. Laugh my fucking ass off. Christophus, what's up, dude? Another one of my faves, man.
Yes.
Christophus, great seeing you as always. As most people on the board are my faves, with the exception of a couple, I think we could say across the pond, perhaps. But whatever. We accept them all. Let's go right here to Christopher when he says this. Ty says Ty Simpson does not fit the profile that Coach McCarthy said he wants. And the thing is, if they went and got Ty Simpson in 21, I would lose my mind, especially with everything that they need. And you could get yourself a good starting lineman for the next 100 years on this team, somebody that's a solid piece. If you pass up on that to get the Ty Simpson, I'd be pissed. You need wide receivers. Of course, we went through the last 2 seasons with 1 wide receiver. You better damn well grab a wide receiver early, one that's worth it, because, again, not doing it is terrible management, in my opinion. And taking number 21 or taking Ty Simpson at 21, I think would just leave everybody scratching their head at the end of the day. I think there's people that don't pay attention to football in the sense that a lot of the people on the board do, and people that follow the Steelers and football year round, that are going to say, well, we need a quarterback. Go get Ty Simpson. He played for Alabama. He's good. But at the end of the day, if you're seeing what's going on and you're watching all the wheels move, it just doesn't make much sense to me, Mike. Ty Simpson will not be a Steeler, certainly not by the way of first round pick. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if maybe down the road in future rounds or whatever. But if Ty Simpson would be a Steeler 21, I would be the most surprised I'd been in my whole life when it comes down to Steelers drafting.
Yeah, I might drive down to the draft and jump off one of those bridges if that happens.
I agree.
It would be a colossal mistake by this team to do that. So that's why I don't think it's going to happen.
Steeler Freak says they could take a quarterback. They plan to get rid of Mason. Slowpoke Rodriguez is exactly who it is, Double O. That is who it is. Slowpoke Rodriguez was the best. Absolutely. On it was Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, Slowpoke Rodriguez is my life coach.
Yeah, me too. But that is 100% it. Yes. Mark Malone, he was always drunk or stoned or something. Remember, he'd always be back to back with that other mouse. Maybe heads would be slumped over.
They had life figured out, man.
Yeah.
I wish I would have realized this a lot sooner in life.
Let's go right here to John. John says Superman would stick Mighty Mouse up. Yeah. Speedy Gonzalez.
I saw that episode on South Park.
I saw that one too.
Lemmy Winks, no.
Somber, he did. He said we brought in a few guys yesterday, Lemon, EM Dub, and Merlin Klein. And when he said Klein's name, he played the Snoop Dogg meme. Who? No ball? How about this?
For real? Damn, it must be true.
That must be true.
Somber says then he said he's a 6th or 7th round overall pick. He's like 138th overall. Ty Deke gets more dumb as each day goes by. I might unsubscribe. There you go. I support your decision.
We support.
Mark Malone says they're just lifting and shit right now. Somber says I almost did. Let's go right here to Right here to John. John says the media needs something to talk about. They are glad to bitch about Rodgers right now for engagement and time. Here we go, Pens. That's right. We'll get into that as the show
Oh,
wraps up.
yeah,
We'll get
baby.
to all the other sports here in Pittsburgh, especially going down over the weekend. A lot of big news, actually, about our teams. And the Pirates, Mike, less than an hour, they are going to be throwing the first pitch in their first game against the Cubs. 3 games set through the weekend. Carmen Majinski will be on the hill for the Buccos. Let's get back to RB. RB says anyone who catches Deke for football news should stop watching football. I almost got into a full-blown fist fight with Deke when he was trying to be a hard ass about how great Kenny was. I wish he would have kicked his ass. I don't even know who this is. I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Me either. Like, I've heard these names, but
I heard
don't
him
know
here.
who. Yeah.
I heard him here. I don't let's do scoot up here. Mark Malone says I'm predicting Watt gets 18 sacks this year. And that's what I was going to say, Mike, when you was talking about the possibilities of moving Watt or Highsmith and that whole conversation. I'm getting a little bit more okay with it every year with this TJ Watt talk. I mean, what if, 3 years ago, it's like, oh, he's never going to move. They're never going to do anything with him. And then, it's after he got that record. Then the next year it was a little, not as a little more underwhelming. And then, of course, last year. So, again, every year I'm starting to feel a little bit more like, all right, well, hey, that's a lot of money. We could probably be putting it somewhere else to get some good football players. So again, we will see. We'll see. He probably isn't going to move. John always says on the board, he says, Rooney's not going to move him. And you're probably right. But at the end of the day, I'm getting every year, I'm becoming a little bit more okay with it. Like if he was totally dominating games the way that Myles Garrett is, for example, I wouldn't want that to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd still be like, keep him around. But as you're seeing production dip and, his skills, that first step is gone. He does not have that explosive first step. And that's what made him so dangerous. He was able to sneak around those guys. But he doesn't have a vast array of pass rush moves to pull from now that it's gone. And he was never freakishly strong to where he can, turn into like, all right, I'm just going to use my strength to beat you now. He doesn't have any of that. He was just relying on speed. And once that's gone, you're seeing a sharp decline. And that's what's scary. Like we just paid all that money to him, and you're not getting the usual production you were for that type of money. Was he still making plays out there? Yeah, he had it felt like all 5 of those forced fumbles in that New England game. But those big plays around the edge that you were normally seeing later in games when those tackles got tired, you're not seeing them that much anymore. They start chipping him early in the game, and then after the game goes on, he's not getting chipped as much anymore. So even he's losing that element there of forcing that tight end to stay in to where it's going to help the secondary. So he's losing a lot of value of what he brings to the table. You have to be willing to move on from guys like that. We used to do that all the time. Franco Harris retired to Seattle Seahawk.
RB says Deke couldn't have explained to me what the cover 9 defense was, but he certainly Kenny was top 3 quarterback. It was just everyone else who sucked. RB says this one. He says Mark Malone or on Madden, Watt isn't getting 18 more sacks in his career. Let's go to Corey. Corey, don't drink that. He says, I'm getting this weird vibe that Arizona is going to trade up for Mendoza. They'll trade the house to Las Vegas, and they'll rock with Kirk until next season. You know what? It's an interesting idea.
Like they would have to blow the roof.
Yeah, right.
Off of the Raiders for that. My thought is, and my reading of the situation is, they brought in Kirk Cousins to be a mentor for Mendoza. They're similar personalities, and it seems like they would get along and help mold him into being a pro quarterback. And that's just what it feels like. It feels like the Raiders are all in on him. They brought him in again for the 3rd time they're meeting with Mendoza. I think Mendoza he's a surefire lock for the first overall pick.
Ty says we don't watch Deke for football. We watch to laugh. If he said, you can watch whatever you want. I just was just saying. Also, Mike, this name here, of course, we talked about the other day. I think RB. Somebody filled us in on this. Of course, Jordan Tyson, Mike. He didn't work out for the team workouts, so that was a thing. Remember this? Jordan Tyson didn't work out on the team workouts, Mike. But he is going to do a private workout for teams. He didn't work at the combine. He didn't work at pro day back on 417. On 417 is when he's going to do his own private workout. Mike, this is going to be Friday. Next Friday, if you will, is going to be when Jordan Tyson will be doing a workout for everybody, because again, he didn't do it at the combine or on pro day.
Yeah, he's coming back from like a hamstring injury, and I see a lot of Steeler fans online saying, "Oh, we got to get Jordan Tyson first round. Got to get him first round." I love his ability. What I don't love is his availability. He's been hurt like every year the past 3 years. Major knee injury, ACL, MCL, PCL, hamstring injuries. Do we really want this guy running around on Acrisure Stadium, on that field, on that shitty surface? I do not. I hope this guy goes on to have a long, stellar career, but I don't want him drafted here. I don't want to see that leg, that hammy, that knee just get destroyed in week 1 because of some shitty fucking surface.
Yeah.
If he had a full, was never injured, I'd be all for it. But no, for me, there's too many medical red flags.
Speaking, and that's, you want to look for a guy that never really, you get people with injury issues. That's, what we dealt with early on, or for the past couple of years, Mike. Every year we have somebody that misses an entire season due to an injury. This year, Will Howard was the latest in that category. Of course, the where he was on the depth chart certainly didn't help that matter. But if you look back at the Corey Trices and the Fatanus and every player, the Roman Wilson, all these players that missed their rookie year due to injury, it's mind blowing. So maybe, as you're saying, you see a guy that has injury issues, by all means, perhaps look around and see what else is out there, because these injuries and even the veterans with Alex Highsmith with his crotch, he always has issues with the hammy and the groin, and he's always on the sideline when you need him most. And so at some point, maybe you see a guy that has a lot of injury issues. Let's look to see what else is around there. But that's, Mike, is plagued us for the last 4 seasons. Right off the top, you could think of the 4 players the last 4 years that they missed their entire rookie year because of an injury.
Going all the way back to Calvin Austin.
I've never seen all the way back to Cal. I've never seen this in my life. Yes, other teams had injury issues. We've had injury issues, but something like this is very unprecedented in my opinion. I've never seen, especially for the Steelers. Come on, I mean,
it's wild. It's nuts. It's crazy. I don't want to draft someone who has injury concerns. For me, that it's no good. Just because our field is so fucking shitty. If we had a nice field, hell yeah, give it to me. I'm willing to take a flyer on him, because we're not going to be counting on him to be the guy right away. But no. This field is too shitty for someone like him.
I mean, if he played on a rug, that's one thing. He's probably going to be best off going to somebody who plays in a dome, because.
With a nice field and let him play.
And there's no elements, and there's no, nothing where you can get effed up. Let's a couple more things, Mike. I do want to go here. This is the list that was released yesterday of the prospects that will be. Of course, you remember on Tuesday or Wednesday, I mentioned that Mendoza was not going to make his way to the draft in 13 days. But Mike, these prospects are a list that are going to. This is a list of prospects that are going to be there, just released yesterday. Jordan Tyson, Mike, the wide receiver, of course, out of Arizona State. Carnell Tate, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State. Ty Simpson, of course, quarterback from Alabama. Arvil Reese from the linebacker from Ohio State is going to be there. Who else? Caden Proctor, the tackle from Alabama. Mike, he's going to be at the draft. Caden McDonald, the defensive tackle from Ohio State. Jeremiah Love, of course, the running back from Notre Dame. Mekhi Lemon, who was just in the house yesterday talking to the Steelers, wide receiver from USC. He's going to be at the draft. Colton Hood, the defensive back from Tennessee. Keldrick Falk, the defensive end from Auburn. Caleb Downs, defensive back from Ohio State. Monsieur Delaney, the defensive back from LSU. Reuben Bain Jr., the defensive end from Miami. And David Bailey, the linebacker from Texas Tech, are the names that were released yesterday that are confirmed are going to be at the draft, Mike. Anybody on that list going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler?
Hopefully. In my eyes, hopefully a Mekhi Lemon if we go receiver first round. I would love to see
Mike,
him.
is he the best? Now, listen, I haven't paid much attention to Mekhi Lemon or USC for that matter. Is he worth it? Is he a guy that we're going to be smiling about? Let's say that we grab Makai Lemon at 21 and we're in the season. Are we going to be really excited about him? Because again, I don't know much about him, but I didn't know much about Antonio Brown either out of Western Michigan or wherever, Eastern Michigan, wherever though he was, and I ended up loving him. Santonio Holmes is another player. Mike, is Makai Lemon bring that play making ability that some of these other guys that we've loved in the past have, or what's his story in short?
I love his route running ability.
Okay.
The little bit that I've watched of him, I just love the way he is able to use his understanding of the route, of leverage, of how to fool the receiver, fool the corners to get that separation. And then you get the ball in his hands. It's not like this electric playmaker, like you're like a Tavon Austin type, but he's a playmaker. You get the ball in his hands, he's going to make guys miss and get you some yardage. He doesn't cheat you on effort. He's not afraid to go to the dirty areas of the field. And I think he would work perfectly right now, working inside while you have those two big bodies on the outside. The stuff I've watched on him, I think he's going to be a very good receiver. I think he'd be very productive in the Mike McCarthy offense. You just get the ball in his hands and let him make some plays.
Can you believe, guys, 13 days from right now, we're going to have a new number one draft pick, a new first rounder on this team. Because Mike, 2 weeks ago from yesterday is going to be the first round of the draft, guys. 2 weeks from right now, we're going to be talking about that number one draft pick for the Steelers. If you can believe it, there's only one Friday between then and now. Mike, it's so close, 13 days away. The NFL draft coming to Pittsburgh, PA. 2 freaking weeks. Unbelievable. Let's get back on the board. Lots of things going on. I want to hear what everybody has to say today as we head into the weekend, Mike. A lot's going on in the Berg this weekend. A lot of preparation for the draft. The stage is looking great. Politicians, legislators, schools, everybody's making vendors, everybody's making all their plans and getting things ready. John Fetterman, Mike, doesn't matter who they are, everybody's getting ready for the draft in Pittsburgh, PA in just 13 days from right now, guys. So much excitement coming to town. It's going to be amazing. Let's get back on the terrible board, see what everybody got to say about all this right here. Mark Malone, it's going to happen at RB. I've gone into a trance and seen the future. So Corey, that's not a trance. That was the killing of your brain cells from the Krylon.
Yeah, exactly.
Corey Beaver said, "Don't drink that." Says at RB. Man, I always said that he didn't know shit. He's a fanboy. I don't know everything either, but I didn't make a YouTube channel acting like I do. LOL. I'm gonna have to check these guys out. I know very little about them. John says this. He says Deke is a weak stream motherfucker who is living off his parents' cash. He grabbed onto a Steeler podcast for a hobby. He knows nothing and is a Steeler ball washer. Other than that, he's a great guy.
Damn, I would hate to hear John describe me to people.
I want to hear it so bad. Let's go right here.
That's fucked up.
Let's go to Ronald Albright. Arnold says this: the Steelers are not trading TJ or Herbig. They're best buddies. And I hope you're right. Well, you know what? Again, that's a lot of money. God damn, that's a lot of money, TJ. But anyway, let me finish the comment. They're best buddies, and TJ does things for us that can't be measured. If a deal was done with Dallas, if it does happen, it'll be Queen plus 21 for pick 12. I'm hearing that 21-12. Of course, possibly a swap in the first round has certainly been being talked about with the Cowboys. But Patrick Queen, and I think this comes up a little later in the message, so I'm not even going to make the comment. But the missed tackles has to come into consideration sometime if you're the Steelers. But again, only 1 year left on his contract. We may or may not move him. It's hard to tell, but it's a possibility. Patrick Queen can certainly be moved at the draft. Easily be moved at the draft.
Yeah, and like you said, to be used as a piece to move up, but we better make sure we have someone in line to replace him.
Yeah.
Because just he has missed tackles, let's ship him out of here. Like, okay, now we got someone who can't do anything in his spot. So you're creating a hole that you once did not have.
And unless they yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of things could happen. We will see. Let's go right here to RB. He says, that's it, Corey. Dick thinks he knows football because he lives in his parents' basement and plays Madden and jerks off all day. He thinks Madden is real life.
I said that doesn't sound like a bad life.
I had to
just like I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm like,
Mike's
Fuck.
thought process, huh?
Like, God damn, man.
How much-
Fuckers living the dream.
Mike's thought process. I wonder how much stuff is in my parents' basement.
Right? Like, can I move some shit around?
Ty says, RB, I don't believe that about TJ. Steeler Freak says, Noah, clickbait. Strackbean is the worst. A true salad tosser. Somber says, can't stand Noah, LOL. Scoot up here. Robert, my man, he says, this will a new DC mean that Queen stops missing? You know what? That's certainly we're gonna find that out. And you know what? Maybe that's going to decide what happens with his contract, provided he doesn't get traded in, here in the offseason. Maybe if the new defensive coordinator makes some adjustments and help things, and he cleans up those missed tackles, we could possibly be looking at another year or two after this year on a contract. But again, it's going to answer this. That's what I'm saying. Like I like this change in a way because it's a reset as well, and you're going to maybe get some answers of questions that you had in the past. Why does Queen seem to not get better? He's kind of, he hasn't lived up to that Pro Bowl status he had in Baltimore. He missed a lot of tackles. Well, let's see if it's Patrick Queen, or let's see if this could have been fixed by coaches. If these guys fix it, I'll certainly take a look at Patrick Queen for another contract. But again, if he continues on that path, he's not terrible. He's in there. He's playing the position. But right now, Mike, you can certainly get better than Patrick Queen he led the league in missed tackles. Nobody missed more tackles.
Nobody missed more tackles. But, okay, we trade him. We don't draft anyone who replaces him.
No, you're right. I get it.
That's the thing right there. Okay, shit. Now we got a weakness. Yeah, we went up. We traded up when we strengthened an area. Now we have a hole. Or if you trade one of those edge rushers, you're like, okay, we have enough pieces to where we don't have to worry about, oh my God, who's going to play? We know who they would be. Boom, our starters are in place because Herbig's, practically a starter at this point. So that's why you would trade a Highsmith or a Watt. It would make no sense to trade Queen, and you let Queen walk in free agency. Potentially, you get that comp pick for the following draft as well too. So there's a lot of gamesmanship going on with this Patrick Queen situation. Because if he plays well under the new system, okay, maybe you can renegotiate him for a nice little contract.
Let's go right here to RB. RB says TJ has no football skill. TJ succeeded off of athleticism and hustle. TJ had an elite first step and never added to it. That first step is gone, and he's easily being handled by below average tacklers, which again, like rookies, on a few occasions, I can remember rookies handling him.
Yeah.
On that right side there, or on his left. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just dominating him like it was nothing without any help from running backs or tight ends. You would think going into these games like, oh, like hell yeah, Watt is going to feast, and it wouldn't happen.
Right. I agree. Right here where Tortilla says Noah gets all of his information from his wife. Ty says, I knew Somber was going to say that. Let's go to RB. RB says, in a quick chip by a back or a tight end. Yeah. RB, somber. RB says, Noah is the fucking worst. I took more shits that had more football knowledge than Noah. I gotta check these guys out. Ty says, one-off year. He's still elite. Watch. My opinion, listen, and I see comments coming up, and I just want to say this real quick about TJ. Okay, last year he had a bad year. Last year he had a needle injury, the lung. What about the year before? What about when he recorded no sacks in the last 5 games when we were on a run that we needed to win games to make the playoffs? He disappeared. Invisible. So again, you can make the argument one way, but you really have to peel back layers on TJ, because you can make an argument both ways from topical information. You really have to peel back the layer and look at what's going on with him to get to make an educated opinion, I think, because again, at the end of the day, it's been over a year. It was about half of the year prior to that as well. That again, he was just non-existent. That's a lot of money to be non-existent for 5 straight games. I mean, you could have players that are playmakers be paying them, and they're making the plays. I'm just saying. Ty says 1 year off. Okay, right here. Ty says one off. He's still elite. Watch. Somber says, yeah, Noah is useless. RB 2 years at Latrobe. I heckled him almost to tears. I like that. That's our boy. That's our man. RB, baby. Robert says this TJ is getting 15 seconds, and I hope you're right. Listen, I don't doubt that he can. I just doubt that he will. That's where I sit, and unfortunately, it's been like that for a couple seasons for me. I don't doubt that he can. I just don't know if he will. And that's the issue.
Yeah, like we're hoping he can,
Right.
because that's going to do wonders for the team. But if he can't do it, it's like, fuck, man, we got this contract for a long ass time.
John says the Steeler freak Noah got lucky and landed the inside job. He is a tool not because of that, but how his titles are clickbait shit for engagement, and his lack of Facebook football knowledge oozes. I get that. I gotcha. RB says this. I remember he made a video about replacing Larry O with some guy who was a 4-3 edge, but his reasoning was Larry O was a 78 in Madden. But this guy was an 88 when you moved him to a 3-4 end.
That's outstanding. It's great.
You know what? And I know a lot of people like it. I do. I know a lot of people like it. Tortilla, only Ty Simpson can prevent forest fires. Let's go right here. Let's go to John. John says, notice how YouTube has changed. Fuckers lie in the title with BS banners to include live when it isn't. Just an example. The competition for folks' time has ruined the experience. Somber says, there better be right if they take Ty at 21. I couldn't agree more. With everything that we need.
Yeah.
And if you go and piss around with Ty again, knowing what's coming out next year, knowing again that you have a guy that on this team should at least be getting looks, I just think that would be. I just don't get. I don't get the talk. I don't get the Ty Simpson talk. Maybe smoke and mirrors. Maybe I don't know.
It's a lot of people in the media who like, oh, the Steelers need a quarterback in the future. Ty Simpson's right there. You got to go get him. It's like last year, people going, you got to take Shedeur Sanders in the first round.
Right.
Like, just because there's a quarterback in the draft, and the quarterback is a need, but it's not a pressing need for the Steelers. If you're actually in tune with what they're doing and you follow their philosophy of how they've been reshaping this team, they're trying to make it quarterback proof. And that's what McCarthy said too. And he's like, that's why I want big bodied receivers and big body targets, is if I do have to play a young quarterback, guess what, man, that catch radius is huge to where if it throws a little off, these guys can reach it and adjust. Yeah. So it's just the lack of like actual comprehension, like Corey said, of people comprehending of what is going around. And that's where you're seeing a lot of talking heads is going, oh, need a quarterback. There's no one on the roster. Aaron Rodgers is old. Got to get a quarterback.
Yeah. Again, a lot of people, again, Mike, they don't follow detail day by day. And again, I can't blame them. I mean, it's just kind of something that we do that we're interested in.
Yeah.
And you see all the information constantly coming and going. And again, you could then make a better assessment. And maybe people just don't. They're done with football for the year, and they just know what they hear. They know what they see. And they're like, well, we do need a quarterback. And this guy, blah, 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 blah. So, that's kind of what I chalk it up as a lot of the time. Let's scoot up here a little bit, Mike. I do want to go to... right here to RB. He says, I challenged Noah to a debate 4 or 5 times on his streams, and he totally ignored me. He's blocked me from commenting on his videos after debunking every opinion he's ever made for an entire year. LOL. RB follows up by saying, it's a shame someone who is so fucking clueless and has no idea what football actually is gets access to the team. Who is it, Noah? Who?
I have no
I think somebody has it, so we'll get to that here in just a second.
Yeah.
Somebody has it on the board, or perhaps I don't know if that's his real name or not, but let's get to that here in just a moment. John says that Steeler Freak. He says AI makes me nuts too. Fuck those podcasts with drone voices. Let's go right here. Somber says Deke used to be with be on the Moats. With Arthur Moats, then they went their own ways and both of their channels died. Gotcha. RB says Deke was a Madden YouTuber who became Arthur Moats' co-host because he edited all of Moats' videos, was a complete dumbass who killed Moats' show completely before Moats cut ties, comic relief for the most. RB also says this, he didn't know most, thought he was fucking dipshit. Gotcha. Steeler Freak John says Chris Carter is the auctioneer talker with the pre-law degree, another Steeler ball washer. He positive spins everything. Tortilla says no, it was a portable cuck chair. Speaking of cuck chair, who's the guy? Who's the person who was on last couple days ago that wanted to be my toilet? I don't know who that was. They were only here for a moment. They said, "Can I be your toilet?" I didn't know what that meant, but I don't know. We'll give it a try. Mark Malone says Lunger Watt is going to pull a Doc Holiday this season.
Lunger Watt might be the best.
Ty says this Chris Carter lately been pulling out better videos. I'll give him this credit. Burley, I do want to say what's up to Burley, and I do like the Pirates, and I'm going to as soon as this show is over, I'm going to check out the Pirates in Chicago, who's in Wrigley for game 1 of 3. All 3 games this weekend are 2:20 starts Eastern Standard Time. So if you're planning on watching the Buccos this weekend, all 3 are 2:20 starts. And yes, Burley, welcome to the Terrible Board. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you. We'll be hitting Pirates and Pens here at the end. Mark Malone says pre-law. Let's go right here. John says 8537. Carter going to pass out one day trying to get all his 10 commercials out in 5 minutes in his podcast. Dude, got to breathe. Ronald Albright says this. All these people talking about Harold Perkins' lack of weight. Well, they're fucking morons. Jacob Rodriguez is 7 pounds heavier and is actually 1 inch taller and is not nearly as strong as Perkins. Let's go right here to RB. He says Carter used to not be bad, but he sold out about 6 years ago to the political takes on shit. But he's a total dipshit besides that. Steeler Freak says this is John. He says Jackbutt Pirates Sperry Sparrow equals pencil neck. Somber says, hey, Chris Carter, here with the Locked On Steelers podcast. Here at the Locked On Steelers podcast, we talk about the Locked On Steelers podcast. Locked On Steelers podcast. Locked On Steelers podcast.
That does sound like a typical episode of Chris Carter.
RV says 7 pounds is not allowed and is not a lot in football, dipshit. Let me scoot up here a little bit. Mark Malone, Jack Spermy, and the Deke Sucker are my two most annoying. Let's go right here. But first, this commercial. Let's go here, RB, especially when you're sub 6'2" and already low on body fat. Right here, Corey, don't drink that. He says, now that you think about it, Two Dum Yinzers is the only podcast that knows Steeler football. LOL. All of these other are seeking clicks and monetization. These guys are just having fun talking. That's it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what's going on. And I want to give the opportunity for every person in Steeler Nation to have their voices heard. Because a lot of times these radio, these personalities, they shit on you. They want to show you that they know what they're talking about. They want to show you that they know more than you. And you know what? A lot of times it isn't the case. And they turn around and they'll shit on people, their listeners, to prove that point. And again, this is exactly why I stopped listening to radio shows here in Pittsburgh, Mike. This is exactly why. Yeah. It's terrible coverage.
It is. And they're all trying to like copy each other and trying to one up each other and be more, I don't know, who can have the hottest take instead of having like the actual like just banter and trying to look into things and find the reason why did the team do this instead of going, oh my god, that's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, no, try and inform people. I was like, hey, here's a thought. Maybe they did this because of X, Y, and Z, or and then someone else go, maybe it was a Y, Z, X, or something like that. But no, it's all going to be hot take.
Do you see how this plays into what I was saying earlier with the politics? People just want to hear themselves talk. Listen, if you're going to call the guy stupid, you better have a good reason or a good explanation of why you think he's stupid and what you think is better. Because here's the thing: once you start throwing names out, oh, you're stupid, you don't know football, bro. You really don't have an explanation. You're just telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. You better have an explanation. As I said in politics, you can name call till you're blue in the face. It means absolutely nothing. Come with some result. Come with some answers. Come with something useful. But again, the media here, Mike, the sports media in Pittsburgh has always been horrendous for as long as I remember. And again, I stopped listening to it years ago. I was in the car and I just decided one day, I was like, I can't. These people are calling in and, they're asking good questions. But it just wasn't going along with what the people that were doing the radio show were saying. So they didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't know football. They were stupid. Yep. I thought, how fucking retarded. Let's go right here. I don't know. Where? Right here?
Right there. Right there works for me.
RB says no is by far the worst. No charisma, no football knowledge, awful opinions. Noah shouldn't have a job in sports. John says he announces Alan Saunders like it's his wrestling match. Corey, don't drink that. He says this. I stopped watching other Steeler pods when I started watching this one. Oh, can't afford. Forget about Jamal. He knows his shit too. I just never catch him live. Oh, I love Jamal's. I love going hanging over there with the guys when they were running it. I wish they would start it back up one day. That'd be really cool. Sommer says Perkins couldn't cover an ant with a car cover. Corey says that RB Kabuli has no charisma and he has diabetes. I think you'll be fine. RB says, yeah, Somber, his coverage tape is painful to watch. He looks as lost as Kabuli at a salad bar. Ooh, why are my arms not bigger to carry more plates back to the table? I don't know. It's probably
tell you
what
what, salad sounds really good right about now.
No, it doesn't. Salad never sounds good, but
I like salads, man.
I like the salad bar. I mean, all the food you can eat, but the salad itself,
A nice chicken salad sounds really, really good.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I'm going to wait till I have my first heart attack before I start making these major life changes.
You know, that's fair. I respect that decision.
Let's go right here to Sommer says 100. Ronald Albright says, all I can guarantee is that no way are the Steelers going to draft someone in the first round in their city who is not there. Not a chance. Let's go to, where are we going? Here we go. RB says, don't drink that. True about Kabuli, but I just don't have the natural fun charisma. What little charisma I do have is raunchy. No, you're RB. You're great, dude. Don't even sell yourself short. People haven't even got the tip of the iceberg on our RB yet. You wait. You just wait. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my God, the things that he says.
Yeah, RB's he's got mad potential. John says 25. I dropped my bong. You must replace it.
Oh, well, was it Terry Bongshaw?
I hope it wasn't Terry Bongshaw.
If it was, oh man.
Mark Malone says hopefully it's Concepcion. Corey, don't drink that, says that RB. Hey, if that's your unique trait, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Be yourself. That's how you're gonna do the best. RB says, Corey, yes, it is, but I'll push more people away than I draw in. Let's go here. John.
Have you met Derpy? And Derpy somehow has a following.
Yeah, he does. Let's go right here. RB says, Corey, yes, it was, but I'll push more people away than draw them in. Steeler Freak says this. I read some BS like the Steelers could trade their first round pick. That fucking stage would be torn down.
Oh, dude, if they trade out of the first round to gather more picks in the draft and for next year, holy shit. It would be great for us because it'd be something to fucking talk about. It would suck for the team.
Right here is where, if I can find it right here, Sash says this. Sash says, I mean, Deke isn't talking as if he knows shit. He's just giving his opinion. I'm not that, it's not that deep. I'm not watching Deke. If I want to hear good opinions, I just check him at times to see what he thinks. Let's go to, don't drink that. Corey's saying this at RB. Eminem still makes a career out of being angry for no reason. You got this. We need more knowledgeable Steelers pods. Think about it. Ty says, I think PQ here, shaking my head. We paid that $3 million. Ty says, my hope for 6 is to get a true nose tackle. Christopher says, you guys are being unfair to TJ. The guy had a collapsed lung when one of your lungs collapsed. But what about when he had 2 lungs the year before? And he got basically shut down to nothing against the Bengals. Against, so again, you could argue that one either way. Because when he was totally healthy, putting up donuts across the board, that has to be put into consideration as well. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says his palms, Kabuli, knees, weaker arms, Kabuli, vomit on his Kabuli shirt already. Mama Kabuli. Ty says this. I'm ready for the draft and training camp. Can't wait till JPJ get his money. Sash says this. I want us to pay Herbig and JPJ this offseason top priority.
Yep.
I couldn't agree more. John Steeler Freak says Mike is a fit, energetic guy whose passion for fine dining and spirits can only be surpassed by his uncanny Steelers knowledge. He is my go-to guy for all things Steelers. I would hire him yesterday. There you
I'm
go.
going to put that on my resume.
Until you get to know him and he has to argue everything you say, then you're ready to kick his ass out the door. But
You know what, John? I think we're going to put that on the screen the rest of the episode.
over at Corey, don't drink that at Christophus. What was his excuse the rest of the time he didn't show up in games? I'll give him a pass on those later. Absolutely, I'll give him a pass on the games where he was where he got needled. Of course. I'll give him a pass on those games later, but that doesn't excuse the other less productive games. Let's go right here to Ty. Ty says, agree, JPJ. I can't fucking wait, bro. Sash. Steeler Freak Johnny says, if I had a daughter, I would want Mike to marry her. There you go. Mike, if you weren't gay, John would want you to marry his daughter. How do you like this?
Wow. I just become gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying.
There's not, but I was just wondering, like, when did this happen? This is news to me.
I'm just reading what the board is saying. What can I do? What do you want?
I don't know, but John said if he had a daughter, I could marry her.
Well, for one, he doesn't. For two,
well,
it's never going to happen because if he has one now, you're going to be way too old. So,
well, he's old too, so she might be age appropriate.
See, I don't think John is old.
He's older.
No, I think he's a sprite young man at his age. And this is who you want to marry your daughter. Guy calls you old. Come on.
I say that with all due respect.
Ty says he hurt his ankle. Somber said you better get that 24 jersey signed at Latrobe, Ty. Dude, that'd be great if Ty could meet JPJ at camp. I'd be so pumped up for you.
Me too. You better fucking film that shit.
Mark Malone, crap. I forgot about Noah Hymanstein. He's the number one. That's not his name, is it? His name's not really Hymanstein, is it?
No,
okay.
It's not. But that is just fucking great.
Steeler Freak John, I got an STD from Noah's wife. You know what? I gave that STD to Noah's wife. Ty says this. I hope Somber for real. Why I'm going. I just want to meet JPJ, the GOAT. I've been absolutely, dude. I hope you could. That'd be freaking awesome, man. Ronald Albright, he says this. Idiots who say Harold Perkins sucks because he is too light and can't cover and is not considered a top 100 prospect, etc. I have 2 words for you. Greg Lloyd. And those 2 words will ring in our heads for the rest of our lives. Greg Lloyd, obviously being one of the beastier players the Steelers ever had.
I almost said it when I heard 2 words for you. I was getting ready to throw up the DX.
I do want to say, John and Steeler Freak says they have horse steroids for the light in the ass problem. Mark Malone says this. I don't have a lot of stock in Madden ratings, but if a player has that look in their eye, rocks a legendary mullet, or has an all-time great name, that moves the needle for me right there. Of course, Dunker is one of the people that Mark is referring to. I'm sorry. Also Dunker and Corleone and who else, Mike? It's always Dunker, Corleone, and who's the third name?
Who's the third? How could you forget this? How could you? That's the face of a franchise right there, brother.
There it is.
That's the look of a champion.
Imagine if this guy ends up going on being great, and we make a big.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
We make a big statue of him right outside the stadium, and there's always going to be a Carson Beck statue with them eyes right outside the stadium. And it's like you see like one of those Jesus pictures that stares at you no matter where in the room you're at. The statue will do the same thing. You're coming over the West End Bridge, it's looking at you. You're coming over the Clemente Bridge, it's looking at you. I like it. I like it a lot.
But the thing is, though, but the eyes won't appear as they're moving, but because they will. He's Sid from Ice Age. I hope. You know what? I'm getting hyped up. I want to take Carson Beck in the 4th round.
Let's go here to Somber. Somber says Ronald has a man crush. I think you like him. We don't. That's it. LOL. Listen, I have no problem, but I know who he will get along with. He'll get along with Phil. Phil really Phil is Steel. Big Watt fan. Let's go right here to Strackbine. His Corey is saying Steel Loyal. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Steel Loyal on the terrible board. He says Madden has Marlon Humphrey rated 87. That tells you all you need to know about those ratings. Mark Malone loved Ray Finkelstein, of course. He's saying Finkelstein on the board. Ty says Loyal, agree. DK had him on skates. Steeler Freak says Mike, type all Steeler talk on YouTube. Mike, type all.
And that's probably one of their channels.
Gotcha.
That they're making fun of.
Gotcha. Ty says Ravens secondary Barbecue Chicken, hell, we beat them with no DK. And Calvin Austin, MVS3, Adam Thielen. This year we got DK, Pittman, Roman, Benny Sko. We need 2 more. We'll hopefully be getting somebody in the draft. So I'm liking it, man. John Steeler Freak says Moats replaced Deke with the black chick with bigger tits bigger than his head. She has high beams flashing every episode. Looks like I am going to have to check this out.
That's fucking great.
Let's go to John, where he follows up and says, I can't watch a Moats podcast without a titty fuck porno at the same time.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God.
You meant Sparry? Lip Sperry. Steel Loyal says Jack Sperry has a personal vendetta against chapstick and water. Christopher says, at least give TJ a year with Patrick Graham where he is going to. Absolutely. Listen, all things aside, you're going to have an opinion no matter what. People, you like somebody, you don't. But at the end of the day, it's my squad, and whoever we have is going to be my dude that year. I might complain. I might bitch. But at the end of the day, you want to win. You want your guys to do well so your team can win. That's all. And at the end of the day, if TJ comes and he has a great year with Patrick Graham, I'm going to be fine. It's just a little off-season talk, trying to figure out what's going to work, what isn't. And again, we have to wait. Nobody knows what this team is going to do this year, Mike, under all new coaching staff. It's a different year. It's going to be very different.
Yep.
So hopefully some questions will be answered. Ty says, agree, y'all, and Steelers Almighty know-it-alls, Steelers Sanctuary, Steel Twins top tier. Tortilla says, Noah's podcast whack, Jack's podcast whack, Chris podcast whack, Cam's podcast whack, Derpy's podcast dope. I gotta get that Derpy in there on that.
Oh shit.
Derpy. Yeah. Let's go right here to Steeler Freak John. This podcast is truly interactive. Adding RB was a positive. He knows damn well he does. Don't tell him I wrote that. I want him to think he is an ass for better performance. And we know it, man. Believe me. Yes, we love RB, man. We thank you for the kind words, John, of course. Ronald says Jack Sperry, LOL, is like the clone of former Philadelphia. Phillies outfielder Vaughn Hayes has to run around the shower just to get wet. Let's go to Somber. It always shows. It's always the shows with 0 to 60 viewers that have the good takes. The takes seem to get worse the higher the view count goes. Also, let's go right here to Steeler Freak, where John says people will go to where they are always told they are right, even if they know it's false. Facts Sombers, what Tortilla is saying. Corey's saying the salad bar is the yellow brick road to my steaks. I guess when you put it like that.
Yeah.
Tortilla, Caboli definitely tossed a salad or two in his day. John says this. He says, I remember when Wendy's salad bar, there was a KFC buffet at one time too. I am stoned. Time to DoorDash. You know what I like, John? I like both of those. Absolutely. They were both fantastic, especially Wendy's. They had the crab salad in their salad bar. And listen, I like all you can eat kind of stuff anyway, but do you guys remember the Pizza Hut? The Pizza Hut buffet?
Oh my God.
Listen, I mean, Pizza Hut basically turned into garbage over the years, but that buffet back in the day was fire. It was
great. Yeah, there was I don't know how common they were or still are, but like CC's Pizza, a big old like pizza buffet of every style of pizza that you went in. It was cheap. It was okay pizza. Wasn't the greatest. Wasn't the worst. Oh my God, man! I miss a good buffet. Yeah,
buffets are great, man. What about this right here, where John says, "I'm using Bong Shaw's backup." What kind of
you're using Terry Hanratty?
I was gonna say, what can you think? I was trying to come up with something creative before my threw the name out there.
Sorry.
That was really great.
Yeah, I know. You look like you're struggling, so I was hoping I threw.
You literally only gave me a half a second to think.
Hey man, time is money. Time is
like,
money.
Did you say Terry Hanratty?
I know, right?
I was like, shut the fuck up, you.
You know what? I noticed something on this show.
Yeah.
If I drink, I'm either obnoxious or I turn into derpy and interrupt you. And that's what
You're just realizing this.
Oh, no, I've known this. I'm just now admitting it.
So Umber says, I wonder if Derpy's fans choose between his left and his right titties like a Twix.
Derpy.
Tortilla, Carson Beck statue. You mean a scarecrow? Basically, yes. That would certainly keep the crow shit off the sidewalk. Don't Drink That. They're going to have signs that say, "What the feck, Beck?" Because he's going to throw so many interceptions with those Chernobyl eyes. Makes sense. There you go. Imagine game on a line, and you have those eyes.
He's trying to look at the guy's eyes in the huddle.
Yeah.
All the offensive linemen are like, "Is he talking to me? Is he talking to you?"
Meanwhile, the people the huddle's behind him right now.
Right?
He's literally standing in the wrong direction. Scare off the Ravens, Tortilla says. Steeler Freak says Beck's eyes do the same. Somber says, yeah, she's just fucking annoying in her jugs. Her and her jugs. Jugs always make it worth just checking out. I'm going to check out the jugs, to say the least. Ronald Albright says, all this talk about salad bars and buffets, there is only one Shakey's Pizza Parlor. You can't beat those Mojo's potatoes. Those Mojo potatoes. Mojo potatoes sound good. Steel Loyal says it would take Jeeper Creepers all 23 days to eat Carson Beck's eyes. Let's go right here. Steeler Freak says that girl's titties got to pay taxes. Steel Loyal, he says he would eat one eye and have to fly to his other eye. There is a bit of a distance between the eyes. Mark Malone says, yeah, we used to eat tear up the CC's when it was just $3.99.
Actually, we would go to CC's Pizza and then the dollar movie theater.
Yeah, CC's was good.
CC's was the shit.
Somber says, man, Pizza Hut salad bar buffet and arcade. Yeah, the little the Pac-Man arcade that had like the glass tabletop and you like look down into the table to play the game. You remember that, Mike?
I remember that.
And you play against the other guy, like a person, your friend would sit on the other side. Corey, Don't Drink That says he might not know what the play is, but definitely knows what cleat everyone is wearing. And Tortilla says Mark Kabuli is the only human in history to out pizza the Hut.
Oh shit.
A couple of things, Michael. We're rounding third, I guess. A couple of things. Oh, look at this. Cody says, Cody in the house. My man Cody.
What
he
up?
says Carson Beck and Vanilla Thunder both like Penn State.
Ooh. Now that's just a vile, nasty rumor there, sir.
A couple of things, Mike, as we are rounding third. I wanted to talk to you about a couple guys real quick. Keanu Benton, we talked about him last year. And again, I think there was a lot left to be desired at the end of the season. And listen, the defense played okay.
Yeah.
But we said, Mike, if Keanu Benton has a year where he plays probably a little better than he has the first few years of his career, that would be acceptable. He ended up playing all 17 games. He ended up finishing with 5.5 sacks last year, Mike, being fourth on the team in sacks. But we didn't stop teams from running for 250 yards.
Yeah.
Where does Keanu Benton fall for you? He had the season that we said he needed to have for, you need him to have this kind of season if you want the best performance by your defense, because everybody plays their own part. He had a good season for him. Where's Keanu Benton go from here with you, Mike? Does he get extended? Does he, what's your call with Keanu Benton moving forward?
I don't think he'll get extended if we draft one or two D linemen in the draft. I just have a feeling like those guys will end up replacing him. If we don't, there might be a spot for him as a situational pass rusher on the D line, like obvious passing downs, because he's not your typical D tackle. Your nose tackle where we have been playing him. Run stuffing is not his strong suit. And he's really good at getting back into the backfield and just disrupting the play. We want to talk about Patrick Queen missed tackles. Keanu Benton has a lot of missed tackles. That was going into the last season. The D-line coach is like, we want him to finish plays. He's getting there. He's just not wrapping the guys up in the backfield, and we saw that.
Absolutely.
Like missed sacks, missed tackles for losses in the backfield. So maybe I want him backing up one of the DNs. I don't want him to be the backup today or the starter over day. And that's why I want someone like Dante Corleone. If we're going to run anything out of the base 3-4, I want that big bastard there. And Keanu Benton rotating in behind Cam, behind Harmon. Or out there, if we do a traditional 4-man front, him being a pass rushing D tackle on pass downs. I think that's the right spot for him because he's not a run stuffer.
You're right.
So we got to find ways to maximize his ability, and he can make plays in the backfield. He can get there and be disruptive. but I just don't think he's a starting D tackle. For a second or for a third round pick, we got to find ways to use him more. And I think in passing situations, it's the way to go for him.
I couldn't agree more. I think Steel Loyal was saying, Mike, you watched a lot of Keanu film last night. Give us your thoughts on Keanu, Steel, on the board, if you will. Also, Mike, let's flip to the other side of the ball here. Some side notes that I had that I want to talk about today. Jalen Warren excited to play alongside Rico Dowdle. Mike, he says, quote, I love the way he runs, end quote. This is what Jalen Warren, we were talking a little bit about the running game earlier on the show. Of course, Caleb Johnson came up in conversation. Mike, again, this just goes into some more of the positive. Yes, you're not going to hear a lot of people saying negative things right now in the Steeler locker room or within the facility, but that's encouraging. Jalen Warren is super excited. He loves the way he runs. Also, some other things, Mike, that are being said about the Steelers that I think might have us feeling a little optimistic is also another thing that we did talk about at the top of the show. These are some other things that were said, Mike. The Steeler players are already all in on Mike McCarthy. They say he has some juice about him. And finally, Mike, Willie Colon. Of course, you remember Willie Colon, the former Steeler. He says the culture is back in the building. Everybody is fired up about the 2026 season. Mike, and again, you know the usual rhetoric. Hey, I think we're going to be good. We have a good team. These guys genuinely seem like they're excited, and I'm excited because they genuinely seem excited. Because if you're excited and they're seeing things that they like, you've been around a team that hasn't been. They've been playing average ball, but beyond that, we could all agree that it hasn't been great for the Steelers. Everybody that's within the organization, they're really starting to bust, Mike. They're starting to feel something. And again, this isn't to badmouth anybody of the past. This is just encouraging to me as a Steeler fan to say, you know what, people are buying into Coach. Coach is going to come with something a little different. He's going to do the West Coast offense. He's going to do this and that. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what the hell we have here, Mike. And in July, we're going to get to see all that when preseason in August and in camp in July. I'm sorry. I cannot wait. Mike. Again, we're about halfway there from the last postseason game to the first preseason game. We're about smack dab in the middle. I am ready to see what the hell this team is going to be about this year.
Me too. And I like this. The new energy coming in, because we talk about this all the time in sports.
Absolutely,
things get stale, and you get that new coach in, new manager in. It makes everyone excited because you don't know, what to expect, and then it's something new, man. And like, hey, we got to this point. Maybe this guy can get us up to this level where we want to go, and I love it too. And this is a guy who's been around the league who. His last coaching stint in Dallas, they high-powered offense, man, and this Super Bowl champ who knows what to do, knows how to get the teams motivated, ready to go. So I'm liking it. It is nice to see that the players are too, that they bought in and are ready to go.
And, last year, you heard the players talking about how excited they were. Like, we got all this defense. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be one of the best. But you know what? Now you actually have different wheels in motion, different things in play. And when it went back to being basically what it was, you kind of said, okay, it's the same system. You have the same coordinators. So naturally, it's going to kind of bleed into what it has been. But again, everything is so new. The guys, they're buying into the new. I am just so excited to see what we could do, Mike. I think we land on our feet again. Whatever the quarterback situation is, I still think we land on our feet just a little bit better one way or the other. With the big draft coming up, quarterback draft in 2027, I think we'll definitely address things there. But let me get to this next comment, Mike, because it kind of plays into it. I do want to say what's up to Mark. I do want to say hello, and I do want to ask you if that is a Greek last name. It looks Greek to me. Let me go right here to his comment. He says that they are not drafting 12 rookies. Some trades are coming. Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And especially you might try to work some capital into the 2027 draft, the big quarterback draft. Also, a lot of talk so far, 21 to 12. There's a lot of rumors. And with 12 draft picks, you're right. There's going to be moves that are made, Mike.
There's no way, because there's no way you can afford or find a spot on the roster for all 12 players. You're going to have guys that going to be on the practice squad or outright release. So why waste those picks, bundle them up to move up the draft, trade some of those later round picks for picks next year into the draft to move up in next year's draft.
No matter what, Mike, at the end of the day, you could have 12 picks, you could have 6, you could have 30 picks. At the end of the day, you can only keep 53 people on your roster. So, getting all these rookies at the end of the draft, they're going to be guys you cut anyway. Why not keep the value in that, package it somewhere, and be able to possibly use that, in the future, moving down the road to help you in other ways. Cody was good. Brother Cody. That's what Ty says. Ronald says, I bet Beck's favorite character in the Mel Brooks movie is Young Frankenstein, or Young Frankenstein was Igor. He does have a little Igor going on, don't he? That Carson Beck certainly has some Igor. Egon was Ghostbusters.
That's right.
Egon Spengler. Benton needs 3 tech. Ty. Cody says, what up, Tyrone? Also, Steeler Freak says, no Tater, no Lindsay, call the police. You know what? That's very interesting, John. It is something that I observed as well. Ty says, agree, Cody. I want orange in the draft. A lot of people like orange. Also, right here, Tyrone says Tater ran off with Lindsay, unfortunately. And you know what? That has to be an option. It has to be. She disappears. He's getting all creepy. Then he disappears. I don't know. I'm just saying. Mark also says this. Did you hear that Dallas offered a third for Queen? They did. And I think we did talk about that earlier in the show. Dallas is desperate, man, to get somebody on that defense. They shouldn't have gave up who did they get rid of? Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons, yeah.
They should have just kept him. Listen, it all fell apart as soon as that trade happened, Mike.
Yeah.
It truly did. The whole defense went to shit as soon as Micah Parsons was left. And they are desperately trying to get players down there. And we were saying earlier, Mark, if you hadn't catched it, was let's see if the missed tackles go down at all this year with the new coaches, the new coordinators, unless, again, he gets moved. And it could very well be a possibility on draft day. So we don't rule it out. We did hear that. Steel Loyal says, I watched a lot of Keanu Benton's film. John says, I think Lindsay isn't into the off season. I think so too. I think that's she and I get that. It's not for everybody. Let's go right here to Ty. Took too long to clean his couch. Steel Loyal says he flourished when he was lined up at the 3 and 5 tech. Of course, giving us scoop on Keanu Benton because he did watch all the film. Somber says correct. Loyal. Mark Malone, yeah, Benton and nickel. Cody says Keanu Benton was getting pushed around like Kabuli in a line at McDonald's. Something tells me he does all the pushing in that line. I'm just saying. Steel Loyal says only centers I saw Keanu beat were Bengals centers in the Lions center. 365, good one, is what John says. Steeler Freak Tortilla says breaking news: Pittsburgh Steeler inside Kabuli has eaten an entire Burger King building and is threatening to eat another one. 365 is Kabuli's weight, is what Cody is saying. Somber says, how the fuck is Burger King still in business anyway? It's a good question. You know what? I like it on occasion. There's a few things that I do like from there, but I do acknowledge it is generally dirtier than most fast food places, and I don't know why, because it's always been that way. Can you just hire somebody to sweep the floor? That would help. It would go a long way.
I was going to offer some pushback, but now that I stopped and thought about it, you're 100% right.
I mean, they do have really. There's some things that taste really good there. I like a lot, but at the end of the day, it's always dirty. It's always dirty.
It is.
It don't matter which one you go to. It doesn't matter. It could be in a different state. They're just dirty. I don't get it.
I think it adds to the experience, though.
Mike eats bugs, so don't go by him. I mean, he.
Wow.
Let's go to.
It's going to be one of those shows today, motherfucker, huh?
Steel Loyal says put Kabuli at nose. There you go. You might fall asleep, but you put Kabuli at nose. Ty says, oh, I like the visit of Texas DB Malik Muhammad. Somber says Burger King, of course. We did get that. John 365 is the number of cheeseburgers Kabuli will eat on the first night of the draft.
Oh, wow.
Tortilla, bro, I swear I've never seen a busy Burger King, and I used to live next to one. Yeah, I know.
But they're always, excuse me, but the locations are never busy. But my God, they never close down. You never seen a closed down Burger King. You've seen closed down Pizza Huts.
Yeah. And Burger King, you're right. You mean generally just shut down.
Boarded up and moved out. They're always there.
That's a good point. Ty says Benton is not a nose tackle. Put him at 31 tech. Seems Graham knows that. Why they got Day. Hope we get Orange or Godfather. Corleone, of course. Ronald says Malik Muhammad is very under the radar DB. Cody says, 9 and 8. Just good enough not to suck, but not good enough to win a fucking playoff game. Somber, just get 9 and 8. Just get a 9 and 8 tattoo, Cody. Let's go right here. Ronald says Steelers won't draft 12 players, but they could draft as many as 9 or 10. John, the Steeler Freak says this. I'm not being negative, but the odds of Rodgers making it through this season are lower than last year. There could even be a new quarterback play, even if Rooney doesn't want it. I know I need one Sombers, what Cody's saying. Somber says Tater could only dream about Lindsay. Corey says this is don't drink that. Tater turned this into a sausage fest because he likes dudes. Every single time a female came in here, he got all creepy and weird.
He did too.
The equivalent of in a public place, walking up and just staring at somebody with that creepy smile and hi, Lindsay.
Hey,
you're so pretty. That big, awkward smile because he's from Ireland. No girls allowed. Club effing psycho. That's right. That's Tater. And once we started riding him about that, Mike, he hasn't been around as much, so maybe we're on to something.
Maybe.
Abnormal. Cody says this. That's a lie. The Dallas defense was cheeks with part. You know what? Were they though? Was their defense really that bad? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm going off my recollection, and I could be wrong, but it just seemed to me once Parsons left, it became shit. Like the defense became shit down there. Corey says also Kabuli and Tater are never in the same place at the same time. Maybe Kabuli ate Tater. He's like, oh, Tater, Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says Tater was inside the Burger King. Kabuli ate. The authorities aren't worried because only freaks go to Burger King. There it is. Kabuli ate Tater. There we go. Ronald says, I want to see what a true quarterback guru like McCarthy can do with a physical talent like Taylor Green. It would be interesting. I think, who was it? Jamal. Jamal was pushing for some Taylor Green the other day. Ty says Steelers bringing in Travis Burt. Offensive tackle from Memphis. Hey, we need offensive tackles. Let me ask you this. Spencer Anderson, Mike, is there any chance that what we have with Spencer Anderson affects anything at the draft or how we pick? Because, again, at the end of the day, is he just always going to be a depth piece, or is there something there?
He screams depth piece. Him and Brock Hoffman scream backups to me. I hope they don't think they can roll with Anderson and Dylan Cook on the left side. It very much needs to address. You have to go guard or tackle at one of those spots in the draft. And the signing of Hoffman and the way the signing was portrayed, it's looking like a tackle might be drafted. Like you have. I don't know. I just don't see the love affair that I'm starting to see from people in the local media of like Spencer Anderson being a guy to step in. Like no, he's backup, and that's okay. Guys are meant to be backups in the NFL. There's nothing to be ashamed of, but he's not. I don't see how he can be a starter. Like did we all watch him play? Does he scream? Oh, he's going to solidify the left side? No, he didn't. So for me, it would be stupid not to go out and get one of the better guards in the draft to put in that left spot and let Anderson and Hoffman battle for backup duty.
Steel Oil says this. He loves Travis Burke. Laughed my ass off. John, the Steeler Freak says, I know I harp about Tyler Shuck, but he was a second-round pick and played very well. Is there one like him this year? And again, that was such a surprise. Out of nowhere, the Saints just started winning, and he started playing well. And again, I guess you never know, Mike.
And he's like a 26-year-old rookie, though, too. So for me, like that type of player, they are what they are at this point. And I still feel he's one of those guys. You get inside pressure on him, he's going to crumble immediately. They're a bad team, and I don't know. I 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for me is not a lot to.
For that team, though, he started ringing off a bunch of wins there at the end of the year. You got to put that into consideration, being that they were terrible prior.
Yeah, they're terrible, but I just a 26-year-old rookie quarterback. There's not a lot for me there to get excited about for them in growth and development.
See, here's my thing. I think if you win, I don't care what age you are. If you come on and you prove yourself and you're a good quarterback, I don't care if you're 25 years old. That's just me personally. Let's go to Somber, though. Somber says, wait, what? I don't hate him, LOL. I just don't think he's a second-round guy. G was on that Thunderbird. Let's go to right here. Corey, don't drink that, says Burger King are fronts for money laundering. Fronts for money laundering, like Los Polos, Hermanos, laugh my ass off. Cody says 9-8 should be the seal of Acrisure Stadium. Steel Loyal says 10-7 is the new 9-8. Tortilla, 9-8 is the nuclear code. It's a nuclear code. Also, Steel Loyal says we go 10-7 more than we go 9-8, to be honest. Somber says this. Oh, I read that wrong. Yeah, G loves Burke. Also, scoot right here to John. He says, I am at the age my mother's comment about don't go out in the public without clean underwear matters. I can imagine the guys at the morgue laughing that my undies having more brown streaks than Cleveland. And that's what we were talking about earlier. That's why I don't think it's a good idea for the whole eating ass thing. And I just don't. I know the men aren't as proper back there as women are. Laugh my ass off. You good, Tyrone says. Also, right here, Somber says, read it as I know you happy. LOL. Cody says, steal a first round draft. Steal a first round playoff. Lose in the first round. Playoff lose. Haha. Does the record even matter? Ty says, need draft the left guard and the tackle. We certainly got to figure it out. Whatever it is, whatever the answer is, it's got to be figured out for sure. Mark Malone, Hoffman was actually good when he played. Mark Malone says Anderson sucked at guard. Steel Loyal, record never matters. I see 9-8 teams make it to the Super. You're right. We were the sixth ranked team in Super Bowl 40. We won that. Tortilla, I know Cowboys fans were upset unanimously after losing Hoffman. Maybe the seal should be 8-12. Somber says I did hear that, Tortilla, about the Cowboys. I think he's saying. And Ty says Cody, hush hamster. and Ronald says when I keep looking at those eyes, I wonder if Carson Beck's daddy is Colin Coward. Somber says 20 game season. Guys, I do want to say a couple things before we do get ready to head into the trivia time of day. Pirates started 20 minutes ago, Mike. They are playing game 1 of 3 against the Chicago Cubs this weekend. All 3 games are 2:20 starts. Do check out the Pirates. Carmen Majitsky on the hill today. And they also, Mike, they did reveal their new City Connect uniforms. These uniforms are actually really badass. Last year, remember, they had the mustard yellow jerseys with the black pants. Mike's going to put up a picture of the new just released yesterday City Connect jerseys. I like these. The black jersey, the black pants, the way the Pirates is written, and check out that sharp yellow hat with the Buccos logo right on the front there, Mike. Of course, the Sheets patch on the left arm, but I dig the new Color Connect, the City Connect jerseys, Mike. A lot of every team just revealed their City Connect, but there's the Pittsburgh Pirates, guys. I cannot wait to see them in these unis.
I like the font. That's about the only thing out of the jersey that I really like. I want to see it out on the field, how it looks. In the picture, it's not doing a whole lot for me, other than, the font looks cool.
Well,
I have a feeling when they're out on the field in a nice sunny day.
How is that not like that's a sharp, chic black uniform? I don't know. I don't know.
Normally, I like it when they're all black uniforms. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I need to see it out on the field, how well it's going to look.
Do you realize that you don't like anything?
I like a lot of things.
You don't.
I like you.
I've known you for many years, and if you like me, I
like you, and that's the only thing that matters, bro.
Somber also says they dropped the black hats too. They are clean. They are very nice. I like them. I like them a lot. A few more things, guys. Pittsburgh Penguins, they clinch a playoff spot last night, Mike, with the 5-2 win over the New Jersey Devils. With only 3 games left in the season, the Penguins increased their record improved their record to 41, 22, and 16 with that win over the Devils. Mike, in the playoffs for the first time since 22, Mike, 4 years, time off. finally, Penguins back. And also, Mike, the first leg of what you need for me to shave and put all my hair on your head. The first leg would be the Penguins getting out of the first round. So the wheels are in motion, Mike. Penguins win over New Jersey 5-2, clinched that playoff spot. It's been so elusive for 3 seasons.
Yeah, and preseason they had like a 9% chance to make the playoffs, and here they are, locked in and making it to the Stanley Cup playoffs, man. Again, Malcolm Crosby Letang in the playoffs. You love to see it. 3 games left. I was just checking out some Penguin scoop. Looks like they signed a young free agent defenseman from the college ranks, and he's going to be playing the last 3 regular season games to get a quick little look. They sent him to a 2-year entry level deal, so it's going to be interesting down the stretch. Some guys are probably going to get some time off and bring up some younger guys to get them a little NHL season. But who would have thought this Penguins team? We were like going to be projected to.
I thought they would. As a matter of fact, I thought they were going to do it last year, and I thought they were going to do it the year before. I mean, they just shit the bed when it counted.
It's the way they were playing and the new coach coming in. And
that was my argument. Man. I said they're going to make it because they got a new coach.
I was like, God, I would be happy if we just had hit a winning season for these guys, but they blew the expectations out of the water. I'm loving it, man. This team is just second in goals for, 23rd in goals against. So it's always a fun night when the Penguins play.
And you can watch them all through the weekend, Mike, as they play a home and home. Tomorrow they play the Capitals at home. They host the Capitals. That's a 3:00 start. And then on Sunday they travel to DC to play at the Capitals. Also a 3:00 start. So not many the times for Pittsburgh sports throughout the weekend, Mike, is very consistent. The Pirates Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Cubs, all 2:20 starts. The Penguins, Capitals home and home, both 3:00 starts. So if you're watching your Pittsburgh sports this weekend, it's not too confusing. Very simple to sort that all out. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Mike, the other football team here in Pittsburgh, they will be traveling to Birmingham Legion on Sunday to play a 5:00 start. Also, the UFL, if you're ready for some more American football, the UFL does pick back up tonight. Tonight, Mike, between the Orlando Storm, they're going to be traveling to Louisville to play the Kings. That's an 8:00 start tonight. Also, this week is week 3 in UFL. Mike, Saturday we have a game and then 2 games on Sunday. Week 3 Saturday games are the Houston Gamblers at the DC Defenders. That is a noon game tomorrow. And then on Sunday, the Columbus Aviators, Todd Haley and company, they will be traveling to play the Dallas Renegades with a noon start. And then also on Sunday, the Birmingham Stallions, they travel to St. Louis to play the Battlehawks. That is a 3 p.m. start, Mike, wrapping up week 3 in the UFL.
I like me some USFL. It's not the best football in the world, but like you said, man, it's some football on the telly. On the telly.
And finally, Mike, if you like boxing, if you like Tyson Fury, tomorrow Tyson Fury will be taking on the Russian, last name Makhmudov, I do believe it is, Mike. That the event starts at 2:00 on Netflix. It's over in England, so it's earlier in the day, and that probably puts the Tyson Fury fight right around 5:00, give or take. So if that's your thing, do flip over to Netflix tomorrow around 5:00 to check out Tyson Fury. Go at it. Mike, with all that being said, let me grab a couple more messages, and then we are going to get into this trivia question of the day. I'm going to go right here to Sommer. He says they dropped the black hats too. They are, man. They are clean. Steel Loyal says Steelers need some new alternatives. And we had the throwbacks, the 33s last year. Remember the 1933s? Ty says those fire. I wish the Reds. I like the Reds, but red on red, I don't know. I wish white pants with red stripes. Somber said it looks like the Reds and the Buccos are going to be fighting. They're going to be battling this year, man. They both got good teams, and they're both fighting just behind Milwaukee. It's going to be a lot of fun. Somber says I was on the Reds in coach pitch. Also, Steel Loyal says UFC tomorrow too. All kind of stuff going on this weekend. Steel Loyal says the title fight. All kind of stuff. Mike, why don't you tell everybody about the website?
Head on over to the2dumyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. We got all of our social media links over there. We got all of our draft stuff over there as well. Take a look at all that stuff. If you haven't had a chance, we got the link to the new merch store. New design here to show everyone too. Who doesn't love Coach Dick LeBeau?
Look at that. I love Dick LeBeau right there. It says it right on the shirt, guys. Get it now. Get it now. It is a discounts. Like we do have sales going on right now.
Yeah, check it out. If you buy it, don't worry. The money will go right back into the show to keep the production value rocking and rolling here at the 2 Dum Yinzers. So check it out at the2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Mike does have the link up there on the terrible board, guys. A lot of cool stuff. Do go check it out. www.the2dumyinzers.com. Time to get into some trivia. Mike, put on your thinking caps. Everybody on the board, everybody at home, put on your thinking caps as well. This is the question of the day, Mike. It's going to continue to be draft questions. Again, we're going to go in and out of Steelers draft questions and then just, any old random draft questions to mix it up. Today, Mike, is not a Steeler draft question. It's just general draft trivia. So put on your thinking caps. Here we go. Question of the day. Which year produced the most Hall of Famers? Which year's draft produced the most Hall of Famers? Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Tortilla saying 1934. 1934 is his guess on the board. Guys, again, the question of the day. Which year's draft produced the most Hall of Famers? I'm going to give you a hint because you're going to need it. This year's draft produced the most Hall of Famers, Mike. It was before the Super Bowl era.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
Not too far, but it was before the Super Bowl era. One more time, let me read that to you. Which year's draft produced the most Hall of Famers? Let me give you another hint. It was 10. 10 people from this draft went into the Hall of Fame, and one of them being Roger Staubach. And that's all I'm going to give you. 10 players from this year's draft went into the Hall of Fame. It's the most ever. Cody's saying the answer is Chevy Chase. Question 10 Hall of Famers. It was the year Roger Staubach was born. What year produced the most Hall of Famers? And it was prior to the Super Bowl era. Let me grab some of these messages on the board. Jelly Donuts saying 1963. Also, Tortilla saying 1934. Staubach was 65, I think, is what Steel Loyal is saying. Let me grab a couple here. 1965's final answer from Steel Loyal. With the information given, you guys are all in the ballpark. Somber says, I am. Let me go here. Let me grab this here real quick. Jelly Donut says, I love LeBeau. Is he in Hall of Fame? I think he's in the Hall of Fame as a coach, isn't he?
Yeah, as a coach, and not as a player. And when he retired like with the all-time interception list or up
that's
there.
Right.
He has like after I'll pull up his stats after the trivia question because I don't want to be seen as typing and accused of cheating.
Yeah, you can't because I know you. So yeah, we will wait. We'll wait.
We'll take a look.
Steel Loyal says y'all watching the Masters at all? No, I don't really watch Masters.
Like I used to love to go golfing, but it's one of those sports I cannot watch. I can't. I know that I find it boring to watch, but I love to go play golf.
I'm too ADD for that sport. I truly am. There's nothing about that sport that does it for me. Which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just me personally. I just I don't have the temperament for golf, and I'm okay with that. Let's go right here. So, Cody says Somber's going to stream UFC fights on Discord. Cody says still porn mostly. Let's scoot up here to see if anybody else has any more guesses here. Steel Loyal says Staubach was drafted before the 70s. Steel Loyal says it can't be Tyrone. Tyrone says I know it was the 70s. Let's scoot up here to Ty where he says then fuck it. I don't know. I'm going to say 1965. Mike, now I want to hear your thought process on how you come up with what you came up with.
I'm going to go with my math is probably going to be wrong here. I'm going to go with 1964. Because I know when we played them in the 70s, one of the Steelers, hit him of the front four, hit him really, really hard, and more or less ended his career. And one of the Super Bowl DVDs, one of the old guys, like, I'm at warming up for a game, and all I hear is "My grandkids hate you." I turn around, and it's Roger Staubach because I forced him to retire. He's like, "Damn, Rog, ain't my fault. You were playing when you were 50." So by using that information, he was 50 in the 70s. Trying to do some math here.
So he'd been 40 in the 60s.
Yeah, and he was in the Navy.
And he was drafted at.
Oh no, so that math ain't mathing. Yeah, shit. See, this is why I don't do math.
Hold on, continue to think it through. Let me grab some more of these messages as they're coming in. Still loyal, Mike. He doesn't disagree. He says that's my guess too. I remember Staubach's rookie year was 65, so I'm going to say 64, 65 is what Steele's saying. Somber says I'm the same with baseball and golf. Love to play, don't care to watch. Yeah, that's me too, man. I just get. But you know what? I don't mind going to baseball games. I like the atmosphere. I like to get the nachos with all the jalapenos and just everything that comes with it. I enjoy the experience of baseball, but again, I totally understand. Golf will certainly it'll put me to sleep. No two ways about that, Mike. It'll bore me to sleep.
To tears. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1964.
All right. Also, Ty says facts somber. I can't wait. Cody says 1955, the year Mike became a Penn State fan. Mike is getting up there in age. And also, Cody says laugh my ass off. Cody says, Ty did. I'm sorry. Cody says I go for the beer and the bit. Exactly. Because baseball game always got a lot of hot chicks, man. They just do. I don't know why, but they just do. And I have no problem with it. And Somber says, yeah, watching IRL is fun. TV, not for me. Guys, let's talk about this trivia question of the day. Which year's draft produced the most Hall of Famers? Which year's draft produced the most Hall of Famers, guys? The hints are it was prior to the Super Bowl era, and the amount was 10. 10 Super Bowl, 10 Hall of Famers, rather, and Roger Staubach was included in that draft. Mike is saying 1964. Is this your final answer, Mike?
The final answer.
All right, let me lock you in on that. You were locked in. 1964 is your answer. Ty says facts. Hella baddies basketball game. Hey, you ain't kidding too. Go to NBA. Any sporting event usually yields a lot of hot chicks. They just do. They like to hang out where millionaires are. I think that's it. All right, 64. 64 is the answer. A lot of different answers on the board, guys. Today, again, the question is, which year draft produced the most Hall of Famers? Mike says 1964 with all the hints given. 3 of them, as a matter of fact. It was pre-Super Bowl era. It was the draft with Roger Staubach, and it was also a year they produced 10 Hall of Famers from this draft. Mike thinks it's 1964, along with some other folks on the board. Guys, I don't think that we're too far off if we are off, but here it is, guys. One more time with the answer. Question of the day. Which year's draft produced the most Hall of Famers? Mike says 64. The answer is 1960. You got it right. You nailed it.
I did just a guess with the shitty math.
There you go. 1964. Great job, man. That is the best year for drafts, Mike, when it comes to Hall of Famers. 10 players came out of that draft that went into the Hall of Fame.
That is insane.
It's wild.
And Roger Staubach was a 10th round pick in that draft.
Wow. Cody says basketball effing sucks. Chicks go to NBA games for the clout. Absolutely. I went to a half dozen Cleveland Cavaliers games in my life. It's a fun time, and that's the thing. I don't want to do it all the time. I like hoops, but I like the way that it is. The ratio that I go see now. That's I'm happy with that. Steel Loyal says no way. Jelly Donuts says, damn, nice man. That's what I thought. When he was figuring it out, I seen the wheels turning. I seen the smoke coming out of his ears. I thought, he might get this, and you nailed it.
So he was only 37 when he retired. So obviously the Steelers being hyperbolic. I was like, damn, man, he probably played until he's 50. Dude's a nut. So, but anyway, yeah.
And I have to be quite honest. I get skeptical because Mikey turns away from the keyboard, but then you never know if his phone is in his hand where you can't see. I'm just saying. I know this guy.
Well, you said pre-draft era. I was like, okay, or NFL or the Super Bowl,
which could be
era.
Any year prior to 1967.
So just roll the dice. I do have Dick LeBeau's stats. He retired with 62 career interceptions. He is 10th. He's still 10th all time.
That's wild. Yeah, but he played in the all-white era. You can't go by guys that played in the all-white era.
You can't, and but they didn't throw a whole lot back then either, too.
Yeah.
But still, like, guys from those eras have less compelling stats than that and are in the Hall of Fame. He should be in as a player. I'm sorry. It's insane. 62 interceptions in an era where they did not throw the ball a whole lot.
You got to intercept every fucking pass.
Exactly. And he was probably locking up the team's number one receiver.
He was playing video game defense. You know what I mean?
He was. So he should be in as a player and a coach.
Ty says derpy math can't be included, though. Let's go to Steel Lawyer. Says no way. Tortilla got it right, too.
Hell yeah, Tortilla.
Tortilla says this. He says, I'm changing my answer to 1964. He actually changed it prior to do. Was that prior? Steel Loyal says put 10 Yinzers together. We could all do a little math. Yinzers math for the win is what Somber said. Let's scoot back up to the top. Cody says if Derpy was here, it would be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2.5 ton Yinzers. I like it. Tortilla says, no, it was after you said, okay, got you on that, my man.
But anyway, Tortilla, I'm giving you credit, brother.
You got this, baby. Let's see, 13 days. You know, that's another thing I was laughing at. Mike just did the sign of the cross. The other day, whenever you came in as Fat Jesus and we were introducing you, you go like this, you go. I thought, no, you did not. Listen, I know what you're doing now, and I get it, but
I went like that at first.
If you go back and watch the tape,
I think I know why. I know why. I was debating whether to do the sign of the cross, just do and I kind of did the.
It was right in the middle. It was funny. It was entertaining, I gotta say. Let's see what else we got to talk about today. A lot of things going on this weekend, of course, guys. Again, yes, the Penguins back-to-back, home and home over the weekend games against the Capitals. Pirates all the way through the weekends with the Cubs. The Riverhounds playing at Birmingham. UFL football all through the weekend, guys. And, of course, the big fights tomorrow. All kind of stuff going on. And when all this kind of stuff goes on, I know that people like to enjoy themselves and drink a little bit of alcohol. If you do stop by and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, guys. Duquesne Pilsner now available at 6 and 12 packs at Giant Eagle and in cases wherever sold. The people at Duquesne Pilsner are always watching out for us and helping us out. So we will at least want to share that back. Maybe if you don't drink, just swing over to their social media, hit the like button, follow, show some love to the people at Duquesne Pilsner, Mike. We always have Duquesne Pilsner here at the studio on tap, made right in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania here, Mike. And like it says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Cody the hush hamster. What is this with Cody being a hamster? I'm seeing this popping up often today. Also, what else do we got, Mike? Do also check out their social media. Also check out our social media as well, guys. We're all over the place. You can keep up with what's going on with the Two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. Follow us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing by, just hit the follow button. And as I said, keep up with what's going on with the show from day to day. And if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, sub, share, leave a comment if you will. It all helps in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Mike, thoughts on today's show?
I thought it was a banger. I thought it was going to go off the rails early, but we pulled it back. We regrouped as a team, and we pulled through. I'm liking now that we're getting some really good visits in for first round picks as well, and not just like David Boston. You know, we brought in a safety from Toledo, McNeil Warren. We brought in Mekhi Lemon, which I'm really excited about. I want to see that crazy bastard as a Pittsburgh Steeler. It was a good show, man. Penguins are in the playoffs, baby. One step closer to your hair being taped on my face.
I can't wait. I'm counting down. And I did mispronounce it earlier. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I think I said Emmanuel McNeil. But all kind of good visits coming, Mike. And then don't forget that Jordan Tyson next Friday is having his own private workout day. Again, missing early due to injury. So that also is things to look forward to next week. So much to get into next week, Mike, is again, we come back, we're going to be in the single digits for the draft. It's unbelievable. Next week, we're going to be down to a little over a week as the week starts. And then as the week goes on, obviously getting a lot closer, just 13 days from right now will be draft day right here in Pittsburgh, PA. It's crazy to even think about, but it's close. Ty, great show, you bastards. We appreciate you as always, sir. Always great having Ty in the house. My man, Somber says, take it easy, y'all. Less than 2 weeks until the draft. Hit that like button. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you. As always, Somber. Ronald says, if Dallas doesn't get Patrick Queen in a draft day trade, don't be surprised if they take linebacker Anthony Hill Jr. at pick 20, but more likely in a trade down from 20. But he is very high on him. So am I. Jelly Donut says this, you guys going to be at the draft? Yes, we are. He says, I hear practically the city is going to be shut down. If you guys are, you should wear GoPros down there in the street. We're working on a few things. So we will see again. They're expecting almost 800,000 people in town. And again, as we said on the show before, Jelly, you get into town for a Steeler game, there's 60,000 people. It's pretty busy. So it's going from 60,000 to almost 800,000. So again, make sure you get prepared if you're coming into town. If you're in town already, just expect it's going to be wild. It's going to be one of the craziest things you've ever seen, the biggest event ever in the city of Pittsburgh. So absolutely, it's a lot of fun comes with it, but there's going to be a lot of headaches also. And you know what? Every city that gets it, they have to deal with it. So Green Bay had to deal with it. Whoever else, Kansas City, Detroit, whoever, will survive. I think. I hope. Also, Somber says this. He says Hill was ranked 86th overall. Peace, gents, to Somber, my friend, everybody. Again, I do want to say this. I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. I want to say also thank you to everybody on the Terrible Board. You always keep things interesting on this show because not only are you important, you are the lifeblood, the lifeblood of this show. You truly, honestly are. We value you way up here. Believe me, we truly, honestly do. We talk about it often here at the studio, and we couldn't be happier. Thank you so much, guys, on the board. I do also want to say thank you, everybody that's at home. Maybe you're in the car, maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're at work, watching, listening, whatever the case is. Thank you, too. Mike, we're heading into the weekend. Again, lots of sports here for us in Pittsburgh. We're going to keep our eye on everything Steeler-related. And again, 13 days to the draft. Who knows what's going on with Aaron Rodgers? It is and again, Mike, here in Pittsburgh, there's so much going on this year with the Pirates looking good, the Penguins getting into the playoffs. So if you are in town, you are enjoying your sports right now, and it's helping you get through the spring. Also with UFL football, WFA kicks off next month, Mike, with the Gals later this month, beginning of May. The Pittsburgh Passion, they kick off. And then also the Pittsburgh Riveters, the female soccer team, the pro team that started last year, Mike. And they're also coming up here in the spring. So much sports in the Berg. You got to love it. And with the big draft coming in 13 days, it's just it's great times to be a Yinzer. I have no complaints at all.
Me either, man. Me either.
I do think that's going to be everything, unless I'm forgetting anything. Am I forgetting anything?
I think we got it all, brother. Man, it was a tight show, man, from top to bottom.
Oh, we appreciate everything, guys. We'll be back first thing on Monday to do it all over again. Again, we hope to see everybody then. A lot going on this weekend, so keep up with what's going on. We'll be getting into all that and so much more, especially counting down the last 10 days at that point till the NFL draft. So much to get into next week. I think RB is going to be in a lot more next week with the draft getting closer. A lot of stuff coming down the pike, guys. So we hope that everybody is here for that. We'll be back on Monday at our regular time to do it all over again. Mike, I'm going to swing around to you one more time. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, brother. All right, everybody, we thank you so much. I want to just say have a safe weekend. Whatever you decide to do, guys, the weather's going to be nice. Get out and enjoy it a little bit, but most importantly, stay safe. We hope to see everybody on Monday for this show, for Finch, for Derpy, for Chop, for RB, for Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great, safe weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.